Anyway, hello guys, how have you been?
Franklin, we've got a panellist today.
Yeah. But we're not on the show. We're on the intro.
I know we are.
Beginning of the show.
Yeah. No, I get it.
What do we call it?
The
pre-show show?
No, it's the... what do they call it now?
I don't know, but we're recording anyway, so...
Yeah.
Go on, you were going to explain.
What was I explaining?
You're going to explain that we've got a special panellist on the show today?
Yeah, we've got Jay here.
Yeah.
So, Jay come from Burscough. And
Jay Hawkes is the Vice Chairman of Burscough. We'll talk about more about that later. But I was going to ask you a question, because you're well ripped, you've lost 7 stone. We've just been talking about it off mic. We should have carried that. We should have started recording then. But you've lost all that weight. You do 2 hours a day in the gym to do that. You've managed to do that since... December, which is absolutely amazing. But apart from the football and spending all that time at the gym, what do you do to relax away from football?
Football is relaxing, Frank.
I should really be asking you this question. Really. Do you find it relaxing? I
do. Yeah, it's my peace. It's my listen. I don't go out drinking. I don't go to pubs. We've got a nice family life at home, and it's our social life. It's our social life. Yeah. So,
is it all Burscough, or have you got a professional team that you follow as well?
I do, but I've lost interest a long time ago.
Yes,
he sounds like he could be a Manchester United supporter. Just saying.
No, Blackburn.
Oh, Blackburn.
Yeah. So
I don't know whether that's right.
No,
I know that one fan was in the stand now, don't I?
My best mate's a Blackburn fan, to be fair, and he's
I used to support them as my second team. When Kenny Dalglish. I mean, I'm an Evertonian, but when Kenny Dalglish went over to Blackburn, they won the league there, didn't they?
Yeah, 94, 95,
yeah.
So what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? God, not an awful lot, mate. I've been sat in the garden for a lot of my time this week. Because, like I say, I'm still on strike, so I've got loads of time to burn. So I've been in the gym, I've been walking the dog. I've basically been living out the retirement dream. Time in the garden, walking the dog, doing the shopping, keeping the house...
So you've come here tonight not to do the show, but to eat the cake that's left over from
Absolutely.
the race night.
You were forewarned. I sent you a text message earlier on today, and I did ask you about it the other day on Monday.
Well, there's plenty of cake.
Outstanding.
But we won't talk about that just yet. What have I been doing?
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Go on, ask me the questions, please.
What have you been up to this week,
I went to the Goodison tour.
No,
I went to the new stadium tour at Everton's new ground.
The Hill Dickinson.
Yeah, and it should have lasted roughly an hour. They gave us an extra half an hour at the end of it, so we could go and search for the trophy room. We were still walking around.
Rumours are they're still searching now.
Yeah, we were swimming in the Mersey.
I hear they've hired Indiana.
If you can't take the mick out of yourself, who can you take the mick out of?
I hear they've hired Indiana Jones to come out and excavate the place looking for a last trophy.
Well, believe it or not, they haven't got a trophy room as such. But the other thing, and I mentioned it, I think, on Monday night, was that what they actually have is they're actually the 5th most decorated club in England, and a lot of people forget that.
It's easy to understand why, particularly with the dominance that we've had in the Premier League over the last, 20 years?
9 First Division titles.
Is it 9?
Yeah.
Well, when was the last one? About 1970s, 1980s?
1987, was it?
80, yeah, it was.
1987. So I think they won 85, 84, 85. Then they were runners-up to Liverpool the year after, and then they won it again.
Wasn't that the year of birth of your first child, 1987?
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right. You remembered?
I did, from Monday.
That's good.
Birthdays. It's my superpower. I know birthdays.
So, other than football, what have you been doing this week, Jay?
Been at the gym. It's been a busy week with lots of change at Burscough.
Yeah.
Lots of change.
Well, we won't go into detail about that. We'll talk everything non-Burscough at the moment. Non-Skem and non-Burscough.
It's a cold open. That's what this is called. It's called a cold open.
Yeah.
I knew there was a technical term for it.
All right, go on. Explain that.
A cold open. Absolutely no idea where it came from. I just know that it's called a cold open.
Yeah.
So that's what this is. It's a cold open.
I'm with you now. We're talking about the show.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were just talking about Everton's trophy case.
Is it an open? Has it been opened?
Well, it's open and empty, isn't it?
Well, that's the dust enclosure, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. So have you been doing anything else?
No, I'm living out a retirement dream. So it's literally shopping, walking the dog, going to the gym and spending time in the garden. I'm basically 80, but without the poor fashion sense and the endless medication.
So it's been a busy week for us in terms of the football
In terms
club.
of Scam, yeah, absolutely.
And we'll talk about that at the end of the show.
Part 3, yeah.
And obviously we'll talk to Jay in the second part of the show about Burscough. But listen, you're more than welcome to join the first part of the show when we start recording it as a guest panellist, because what we've never done before is had a guest panellist, but we talked about this the other week, didn't we?
We did, and to be fair to Jay, like, he's got no choice because I blocked him in and I'm not moving house. Unless he fancies walking back to Robyville.
Yeah, but looking at his car, it'll actually steamroller over.
I'm going to say, I've never been more terrified of reversing into your driveway, Frank.
It would certainly...
Careful.
It'd certainly blow it over, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Like, either the car would blow over my car or Jay would blow over me. But
I thought you were coming on your bike.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's done all of that now, and he's taking the rest for it. But you've been back in the gym.
I'm back in the gym. Yeah, I'm back weightlifting and doing all of that carry on.
But he's back boozing as well.
I've had one drink since I've been back.
Did you have a drink on Saturday after the game?
Yeah.
What did you have? I had a blackcurrant and soda because I am teetotal.
You are teetotal. I had a Guinness.
Me too.
Yeah, only for 6 months, and I didn't do it. I keep explaining myself all the time.
You certainly
But I wasn't intending to back in drinking, but I was on antibiotics for 6 weeks, and it just seemed like a good idea to carry on. It's very difficult when you stop drinking. You feel obliged not to carry on drinking. So I've just got to that stage now where I'm not really interested, and because it's gone a bit colder now. The only time I've sort of almost been seduced by alcohol is when you go and pass somebody in a beer garden and they've got a nice ice cold beer.
That's the only time I've ever been tempted to have a drink is when you see people in the beer garden.
Do you drink at all?
I don't like the taste of it.
It
just doesn't interest me. If I go on holiday and I'm sat at the side of a pool, I'll have a drink. We don't drink. We're not drinking fun. My son is. He'll
drink for all of you.
Oh, he'll sit there playing his Xbox
with a pint. Oh my god!
Or a bottle, yeah.
Never heard anybody combine the two.
Builder.
No.
He's a builder.
Is he a builder? Right. Okay.
Listen, I suppose we better get on with the show. Really.
Well, it's about yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. I'm Frank Hughes, the Chairman of Skelmersdale United Football Club, and alongside me is my co-host and passionate press officer, AJ Vegette. Not that being involved with the football club is a prerequisite for hosting a football podcast, but it certainly helps. We are ready to dive headfirst into the vibrant world of non-league football in the Northwest, and we might even take a moment to discuss some of the bigger headlines in the sport. We'll explore life in the Northwest counties, bring you interviews with well-known faces in the league, and analyse how local teams are performing while making bold predictions for their upcoming matches. Nothing is off the limits here. We'll be diving into all kinds of topics, including complicated refereeing decisions and regulations that often leave fans perplexed. We want to hear from you too. This is your show, so don't hesitate to reach out with topics you want us to tackle. Let's get this conversation started and enjoy every single moment. We are speaking frankly. Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. This is Season 2, Episode 15, and an unusual show. Pardon?
Episode 15, is it?
Yeah, did you know that? Yeah.
No, I don't keep up with these numbers.
Yeah,
I just rock up.
Episode 15, but that's episode 15 of the second season.
Yes.
And I think it was mentioned it before while we were off mic. This Saturday will be the first anniversary of the Speaking Frankly Football Show. So that now is 28, 38, 43 shows in that year.
43 out of 52 weeks?
Yeah, we've
That's
done all right.
really not bad. Is that including the bonuses as well?
Yeah, well, what I did is I changed the bonuses into episodes, didn't I? Because I was getting confused myself.
That's fair enough.
That's what I did. Anyway, so listen, a warm welcome to my co-host, AJ. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Yeah, I would, because we've got a panellist for the first time ever. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into another show today. And I'm really, really delighted to welcome our guest panellist today, Burscough's assistant manager, Mr. Jay Hawks.
Assistant Vice Chairman.
Is he Vice Chair?
Vice Chairman, yeah.
He's assistant manager?
You've just relegated it. Who's the assistant manager now?
It's Nick Dull.
Nick Dorsey, you just relegated him.
No, I haven't. Can we start again?
I feel like I've been relegated.
I'm not telling him that.
Listen, never mind. It doesn't matter much. Listen, a warm welcome to Jay Hawks, who, of course, is the vice chairman of Burscough Football Club. Really nice to have you. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Listen, what we'll do is, in the second part of the show, we'll talk to you more about Burscough and yourself, really. But what we do is, at the beginning of the show, we have the roundup of the Northwest Counties.
Yes, we do.
AJ normally does the introductions on that one. And listen, just we'll ask you the questions as we go along about the various teams and get your input as well, because sometimes we're away from the Northwest Counties at the moment, as you know, taking a little bit of a gap year, hopefully.
Gardening leave.
Yeah, gardening leave from the Northwest Counties. But it'd be great to have your input, because you're right in the middle of it right now.
Literally sixth.
Do you want to open up the show then with the Northwest Counties? Do you want to explain what we've got coming up in the show?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as per usual within the Speaking Frankly Football Show, we're going to check in on the Northwest Counties, going to round up all the recent results across the board. We're going to have a look in at the FA Cup. We're also going to check in on the usual teams higher up the pyramid, including Bury, Southport, Clitheroe and Marine. We're going to, of course, visit Controversial Corner. We're then, in part 2, going to sit down and discuss all things Burscough and all things Jayhawks with Jayhawks. And then in the final part, we're going to focus in on Skelmersdale United, our fundraising, our cup wins, and meet the club nights. And then we're going to round it off with the usual fixtures, predictions and expert analysis. So,
right, can I just explain something to you though?
What?
For the first time in many moons, I've collated the predictions from last week. Yes,
okay.
And 21-19 in favour of
you.
Me.
Okay, your first win of the season.
No, it's not my first win.
What do you mean it's not your first
I probably
win?
won the first 2 when we were counting.
Nuts.
I don't think you've won one yet, have you?
I've won 5 in a row by virtue of you not bringing them in.
Well, I'm not going to fight you over it.
Default. Don't straight, you know.
Well, listen, should we start off with Atherton LR?
Yeah, Atherton LR. So it's for once for Atherton LR, it's actually been a bit of a difficult one. So having lost 2 league games in a row against Earlham and Wythenshawe, and then in between that they were knocked out of the Macron Cup 5-3 on penalties after a 1-1 draw to Burscough. No disgrace in that when you consider how well established and high up the pyramid Burscough are. Nevertheless, Davy Jones is going to want to amend this as soon as possible. I think he will. It's just a blip in the ocean that comes naturally to newly promoted teams, particularly when you consider how, typically they're sort of punching quite high above their weight, really, aren't they? When you think about them.
Yeah, listen, they're a very well organised outfit. You probably know Jay better than anyone. How good were they? How bad were they on the day?
To be fair, first half we were a much better team. Second half, they deserved something out of the game. They're very, very well organised. Davy's a young modern day manager, so he sets them up organised. They've got some very good players. The striker coming on, he changed the game. Tom Romano, listen, they were the better team all. It was a mistake. A rare one by our keeper, where it's come across and it's just gone under it. So that was. They didn't really trouble us. We could have gone in maybe 2-3 at the break, but it was a difficult game. They're one of the best teams we've played this season, I think.
But you managed to get over the line in terms of penalties, 5-3, pretty similar to what our score was over the weekend as well. I think we won 4-3 in the end.
We did,
Yeah, so listen, no disgrace for Atherton LR to lose out on that one, but they want to steady that ship once again, won't they?
Most certainly.
So listen, former guest Steve Wilkes will be pleased with Ramsbottom's current form, as they've managed to keep the pressure on leaders Padiham. But I keep returning to this, how competitive is the Northwest Counties Premier Division? And probably the best person to ask is Jay, because you're right in that position right now.
It seems to be the Ramsbottom, the Wythenshawe and the Padiham, and then it seems to be everyone else then trying to keep up with them. They're the teams that I think if anyone finishes above them, they've had a very good season and they will make the playoffs. Guaranteed playoffs at least. I think Padiham are the best team we've played this season.
Well, I was going to say that to you because you played them early doors and you beat them 3-0, but they seem to have lost a little bit of their sort of invincibility, because we thought that they were going to steamroller that league, didn't we? And then
I don't think any team steamrollers the North West Counties. I think that's what is a beauty about it, is that you might well have the three teams that are going to vie for that, a title-winning top spot, but then there's easily about half a dozen teams what could haggle it out for the playoffs in between them. I mean, we're looking at the table right now. Obviously, Padiham 2 points ahead, but then you've got Rammy, West Didsbury and Chorlton, Wythenshawe, Earlham and Burscough, all within an 8-point gap. And it's amazing when you think about the competitivity of it.
It's really early doors. There's no doubt about that. But when we look at the momentum that they built up at the end of last season, you automatically think that they go in head and shoulders above everybody else. But that said, they got battered by Nelson 6-0 in the Macron Cup, and I didn't see that one coming at all. I don't know what your thoughts on that one. Nelson, are they as good as we think they are? Did Padiham make a great deal of changes? I don't think they did. I think there was 2 or 3 changes maybe.
It looked like they had a strong squad out.
Yeah.
Did he concede 2 goals and then Padiham just...
You have one of them days, don't you?
One of them days, where if you get beat 2-0, you may as well get beat 6-0. It was a shock result.
It was a shock result.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think Padiham are going to pick up the momentum again and they're going to be okay?
I think eventually they're going to pick up the momentum. I don't think there's anything to say that they're falling off. I mean, we just talked about it with LR, and I'm sure Jay's experienced it with Burscough. We've experienced it certainly with Skem. Teams have drops and blips. Even Bury had it. Lower Breck certainly had it. It's part and parcel about what makes a team worthy of promotion and the playoffs, that they can unify and kind of get back on that winning run. I've got every confidence in Padiham that they're still going to be there by Christmas, the turn of spring, and then into playoff season.
Yeah, but like going back to what I was saying before, though, it's so competitive. You look at the top 10 in that division, they're in 10th place at Shadderton. We're expecting them to do fairly well. They've only played 11 games, so the 2 games off the top team. Pilks, surprise package there. Wasn't expecting much from them this season.
No.
In fact, probably had them down as relegation fodder. Forgive me for saying that, but
sorry, guys.
They didn't look particularly good, but they're doing all right. FC St Helens.
Yeah, I mean, we had this discussion last season with FC St Helens in there. A newly promoted team. Maybe they're punching a bit higher than what we thought. We're still in with a shout at the playoffs up until about February, March time. It did drop off for them, but you've got no doubt that Mike Smith's got a really decent team under his belt there. They drew 2-2 with Earlham, which is a really good result, and they came from 2-0 down with 5 minutes to go to do it. So they've got some steel about them. Who
do you think will be the surprise package in that division? Anything outside that top 10 that looks capable?
Chadderton will be up there. When you say them top 3, you don't realise, because you're looking now. West Dids will always be around. The West Dids, we haven't played West Dids yet.
No,
we haven't played them, but Chadderton will. The players that they've signed in the summer, they'll definitely be up there.
Yeah.
They're another one. I said top 3 before, but you've got to take them into a 4 team.
I wasn't expecting Wythenshawe to be there, because they got one of the relegated teams, weren't they?
Yeah.
But one of them, Wythenshawe Town got a reprieve.
They did, yeah.
They've also got one of the best managers in the league.
Wythenshawe?
Yeah.
What's it?
James Kinsey.
It's Kinsey,
James
isn't it?
Kinsey.
Yeah.
So James Kinsey, he was the one that left and came back again.
Yeah, he was there for all of about 4 days.
We'll talk about managers that left and came back.
So James was there for about 4 days, and then left on the grounds that the senior management team had made promises that they were now looking to retract on, and so he felt that the sort of trust bridges had been broken there, but evidently he'd seen enough of a turnaround to get back in there, and they're absolutely flying. I mean, I know they had a bit of a shaky start. I think they were winless in their first 2 games, but now they've really started to pull it together. And I suppose, given how they were relegated, a team like that doesn't fully disband, does it? It's not like they're in the midst of a massive rebuilding job, is it?
Well, it depends. Money counts, doesn't it? If you can carry on playing the players.
Well, they've brought Brian Lee in from Bury.
Of course, yeah, he came back, didn't he?
Aaron Chalmers from Bury as well. They're players that you look at high end.
Top quality, I think there's no doubt.
Well, they don't play for Bury if you... Bury only sign top quality players,
certainly do.
Whether to take it off other teams or they're a good team.
Yeah, like I say, very competitive at the top there, but at the bottom end of the table, Litherland, Remica's situation doesn't get any better. Last week, we spoke to their new manager, Jamie Rainford. He's got a tough job on his hands.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Jamie Rainford?
No, I've heard the name, but I don't know it. I know Dano, that was the old manager. He used to be at Burscough a few years ago. He was the assistant manager at Burscough as well when we finished 6th. It's a tough job. It's a tough job.
Always feel as though when you're at that bottom end of the table, probably the most prominent position you're missing is a centre forward. And Jamie Rainford could do with probably coming back out of retirement to help them score more goals. It is difficult to find a striker, and even more difficult when you're right down the bottom of the table.
Of course it is. And it's hard to attract the players as well when you...
Yeah, because there's a lot of money hanging around there as well.
And it depends on the budget as well.
Yeah, it does. I mean, they they hosted the FC Isle of Man on Saturday and were beaten 3-1. It seems like they were beaten quite soundly. They went into half time at 1-1. Remica scoring through Alessandro Trapasso Tolly. But FC Isle of Man, we know that they're on a bit more of a rise recently. They were rooted to the bottom of the table a couple of weeks ago. They've now kind of circumvented that. They're up to 20th. Last couple of games, I think they're unbeaten in. So they're starting to be the Isle of Man that we expected them to be. And the Isle of Man that performed so well last season. So that's no real shade on Jamie and Litherland. I think they were going to expect a big battle against FC Isle of Man, and they've come out on the wrong end of it. But that's part of the rebuild. That's part of the magnitude of the job that Jamie's having to rebuild on. So,
they're the teams that you'd be looking to beat. Wouldn't you, if you're rooted to the bottom? They're the points that you need to be picking up at the moment.
Most definitely. AFC Liverpool, they're topsy-turvy, aren't they? Playing really good in the cup competitions.
Yeah.
I think they've... what are they? They're still in the Macron Cup. They're still in the FA Vars. But they lost 4-0 to Padiham on Tuesday night, which is no disgrace.
No, it's no shame.
I think we're expecting that. It was a good sort of result for Padiham to come back after the disappointment of exiting the Macron Cup. So that probably quite refreshing for them. So you're looking at them bottom two there, 3 points apart from each other. AFC Liverpool have got a couple of games in hand. So pretty much straight away you're looking at Remica and thinking that they've got a battle and a half on their hands.
Pressure's already on, isn't it?
Yeah, and it all depends again, like we talk about money and budgets. Yeah. If they can find a budget, then they can probably find themselves a way out of it. We certainly know from the last couple of seasons that budgets mean everything. And then when you get to that position there, trying to recruit players is almost impossible. And the best that you can do is to bring youth into the football club, and that takes time to gel.
Or indeed players from sort of lower divisions. Yeah.
And AFC Liverpool, like I say, they beat McGull, who seems to be having a bit of a blip, but they beat them in the Macron Cup.
They did.
A division, both in the same division, aren't they? Yeah, they're both in the same division.
McGull are in the league below.
McGull are in the league below, yeah. So, I mean, it's a really good victory for AFC Liverpool.
Yeah.
I
think it is.
It's a derby as well, isn't it?
It is a derby.
I was going to say there's a plethora of teams in Liverpool now compared to what... A lot of these used to be Sunday League teams.
Of course they do. AFC Liverpool will pull out of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they'll pull out with it.
Yeah, they've got a good manager there. He's been around the block a few times. He knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
They've got one of the best players in the league as well, haven't they?
Caleb Jones.
Yeah.
Caleb Jones, How did he manage
probably
to
one of
keep
the best
hold of him?
scorers. Yeah.
He's contracted, isn't he?
Is he
He's
contracted?
contracted, and do you know what? He only come from Mossley, I think, didn't he? A Sunday league team or Saturday league
right.
team.
Mostly him, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them.
very
Yeah, some player.
Oh yeah.
Some player.
Well, we've always known that, hasn't he? He's scoring all the goals there. The problem is not at that end; it's down at the other end, isn't it? Really, you know, they've got 36 goals conceded, which I think is about the second worst in the division. So, and ironically enough, the goals that they've scored, they're sort of far and away the highest scorers of that kind of bottom third of the table. So, if they could shore up their defence, they'd have a decent team, and a team that are not sort of 23rd.
They've got a good goalie though, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've got a very good goalie.
Yeah, well, you've worked with him,
Yeah,
so
he's
you know.
a top goalie. He's a top lad as well.
Yeah,
Top
I'm surprised he went to.
It's a tough one, isn't it, football?
Yeah.
Tough one.
Listen, looking at Glossop, we talk about Richard Brodie. You know Richard Brodie. We'll come to that in a minute, but the misery was piled upon him again. Expecting them to win at Pilks, to be honest with you, but Pilks, like I say, having a fabulous season. So it's not looking good for Richard at the moment. We know he's under pressure. He knows he's under pressure. The supporters will be putting him under pressure.
They are.
You've worked with Richard before, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go on.
He puts his heart and soul into the job, doesn't he? Listen, it's a difficult place to get to as well. So you can't knock his commitment. He's always there. He knows his football. He played at a very good level. It's just a difficult place to.
Well, we've always said that age 69, that last sort of point from is the M67.
The M57.
They're virtually the Derbyshire, aren't they?
In effect, yeah.
But they're literally stone's throw away from Manchester as well, aren't they?
Oddly enough, but you've got all the Stockport and Cheadle teams between Manchester and Glossop.
Peak time, coming off that motorway trying to get into Glossop.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Well, I wouldn't want to go there on a Tuesday night for a game.
Through Hattersley, you can forget it. You'll not get there before sundown.
Have you played them yet?
No.
No.
We're due to play them in a few weeks.
Away from home or? I've not looked at the fixture list.
I don't know. I haven't even checked, to be fair. All I'm looking at is the next one.
Do you think
it's fair enough?
Do you think Glossop North End are going to do enough or have got enough within them to stay?
They won't go down.
They won't go
They
down.
won't go down. I think they've got a decent enough budget to overpower the likes of Remy and stuff.
What do you think is a decent budget these days in the North West Counties Premier League now? I mean, I go back to the amount of money that we paid in the Northern Premier League.
Yeah.
And some of those figures are still hanging around, but they're hanging around now in the North West Counties.
What was it when what were the figures on you in the Northern Premier League?
When we went sort of neck to neck, toe to toe with Chester, I think they were paying out around about, their budget was around about £15,000 a week. Somebody will come on the show from Chester or will come on the
outraged
social media and tell me that's a load.
If you give me £15,000 a week now, I'd win the Northern Prem for you.
Yeah, well, I don't think all of that was players' budget, but our player budget was around about £1,700, anywhere between £1,500 and £1,700 a week, and they pipped us on goal difference.
What year was this?
That was back in 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
So if you think about the inflation, £1,700, that would be about what, $2,000, $2,200 now, maybe $2,300.
Yeah, I mean, but even that now, that's an extremely low. But you look
at
some of the teams
is.
that are in the Northern Premier League,
yeah,
and I don't even some of the teams further down. The ladder are paying far more than that.
Oh, gotcha.
And we know what we've speculated about certain teams in East Lancashire, should we say?
Yeah.
For instance, they were paying, £350, £400 just for one player.
Some teams do that, don't they? And then they'll bring the youth players into certain for nothing, and then they'll pay £40 a game. It's difficult. Yeah. It's difficult, but I think the budget to compete above mid-table, you need £1,000 minimum, don't you? Yeah. Anything below that, you're going to be in a relegation squad.
And listen, we're going to talk about that in the controversial corner, because we'll talk about budgets and whether they're destroying non-league football or they're not. So moving on, we've covered that. We go on to the North West Counties Division 1 North.
Yep.
Now Droylsden have led the way, but they haven't won a game since September the 13th in the league. They've drawn games against Thornton Cleveland's and MS Walton, but lost 1-0 at home to Holker Old Boys, who have just crept up into second place.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. I'm sure when we spoke about Holker Old Boys a week ago or so, they were sort of about 7th or 8th, something sort of ridiculous like that. And
but we did predict at the beginning of the season that they're going to be up there, didn't we?
Well, we certainly did, yeah.
A tough team to beat at home.
Certainly a tough team to beat
Holker.
at home. Yeah.
It's a long journey as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's a long journey, but I think their manager said last season, we're great when we're at home, but it's not as good when we're travelling, because they struggle to get a team together then.
Yeah.
If you imagine trying to get off on a Tuesday night, to get and people working on a Saturday morning.
Sounds like the Iron Man, doesn't it?
It is. But for the remoteness of it might as well be.
But it puts a huge amount of pressure on them.
It is, yeah. I think the nearest team to Holker Old Boys in terms of this division is someone like Thornton Cleveland.
So
you're looking at the top end of the filed coastline.
Like you say, Jay, I think it takes half an hour to fly over from the Isle of Man.
It'd be quicker to get to the Isle of Man.
Yeah, certainly would, because it takes you half an hour to get to Liverpool.
Yeah.
20 minutes on the train. Half an hour on the flight. If you could do it all in one go, you'd be there in an hour.
You're just knackered after that flight. Just takes it out of you. So yeah, Holker Old Boys up into second place behind Droylsden. Maghull in third place, and then Ashton Town in fourth. We talked about Ashton Town with a bit of a topsy-turvy season so far, and they exited the Liverpool Senior Cup on Tuesday night at the hands of, once again, Burscough.
Hey, we're doing all right, aren't we?
Not doing too badly. Not badly.
How did that go? What do you make of Ashton Town?
We both played. I'm not going to say weakened teams, because that discredits the lads, but the full teams weren't out. No, the full teams weren't out. They left the Mikey Howard out, the Lomax brothers, and we had no Tom Peterson, no Sam Sheen, no Matty Hamilton. It was, and then we give 3 young kids the debuts. A 16-year-old played last night. So, and they had some youth players out as well. So it was a funny old game, a game of two halves. Let's say it was. But they had Connor Aiken playing. Connor's a top centre half. He's they had some good players. Will Hamilton, good team.
How much of an intrusion are the cup games going to be on the success in the league, do you think? Does it make any difference if you got a winning momentum? Does it matter? Or
we had this discussion last week. You've got to be truthful to yourselves, and you're not going to win the Senior Cup for a team like Burscough or Ashton. You've got Marine, you've got Prescott Cables, Lower Breck. You've got Everton under 23s that won it last year, haven't they?
They did.
Lower Breck.
They did, yeah.
Is it as good as getting to a quarter final as of ours? I don't mean to discredit the County Cup. It's still a trophy at the end of the day. Everyone wants to win a trophy, but when you're still in the Macron Cup, you're pushing for the playoffs. You've got a big game in the Vars. It's less important. It's less important to. A day out at Wembley or a day out at County FA.
Bit of a no-brainer. Was it Matt Saunders that mentioned this scale of the importance of winning? I don't even know what I'm talking about here. Just waffling.
You're on about momentum. Dem said to us last week that he didn't know what to do because he wanted to keep the momentum going. He wanted to. So he was just a bit unsure, but then obviously we've told him the priorities for the season. It's what we'd like, and he agrees. He's a good manager, so he knows that the Vars game on Saturday is a lot more important.
Well, we're going to talk about that in your specific part of the show. But for now, listen, we'll go back to Nelson. Nelson, the informed team of the North West Counties Division 1. They've crept their way into the playoff positions. 9th
win in a row, I think.
9 consecutive wins in all competitions. And as highlighted before, they battered Padiham in the Macron Cup last weekend. Aaron Ripley, who was on the show a few weeks ago, seems to get all his players singing to the same tune.
Yeah, we didn't think this blip from Nelson was going to last too long. I didn't think it would take a change in manager to do it. But
it wasn't a great blip anyway, was it? Because
it was about 3 games.
It was the opening 3 games. They lost the first game, won the second game, and lost the third game, and then he was sacked.
Yes.
And we'll come on to seconds
later.
They
didn't have a great start last season either, did they? I don't think.
It was topsy-turvy. They were all right when we played them. We played them early doors and they battered us 6-0.
They did.
And we walked away from that. Tommy and I, and anybody, I think AJ, you were definitely there, weren't you?
I certainly was.
We came away from that thinking that Nelson were champions elect.
Yeah, Tommy said it in his in his post-match interview.
But then we played a few other teams after that. we thought they were champions elect as well.
Yeah, so it wasn't just the scale of the scoreline.
Well, you go and play the Darwins of the world and then you think, and then Droylsden. You'd expected Droylsden to do far better.
Yeah, you would. And then Holker on top of that as well. The teams that are traditionally up there towards the top end. As for Nelson, they come away with a 6-0 win, which will do everything for their confidence going back into the domestic league. And I do expect them to be fighting on multiple fronts this season, particularly when you consider they've got a couple of games in hand on Holker All Boys, Maghull and Ashton Town. And in fact, Droylsden, although they're top, they've played 2 games more than everybody else. And having a wobble now means that pack at the top of the table is going to be a lot more condensed towards Christmas time. So I don't see that Nelson momentum going away anytime soon. I really don't. I think Aaron Ripley's got them doing exactly what he wants them to do to get up there towards the top. I think they could do it this season. I really do.
Yeah.
Well, if they win the games in hand, they go 7 points above Droylsden, don't they?
Yeah.
They do.
Brilliant. Listen, Ashton Athletic shocked everybody at the foot of the table by battering Bacup Borough by 4-0.
They did.
Josh Nicholson, I thought he'd left. Or was it the other
Jamie?
It was the other Nicholson?
Jamie Nicholson.
Yeah,
he'd gone to Maghull. I think he signed for Maghull about 2 weeks ago. Right. But Josh
scored a hat-trick.
Josh come out of nowhere and scored a hat-trick, really. We talked about it on the show last week, fully expecting Bacup to beat Ashton. Ashton hadn't won since the start of the season at all. They hadn't not picked up any points. But out of absolutely nowhere, they've gone and smashed Bacup 4-0 at Broxteeds Park.
So it's not looking good for Bacup, really, is it? Albeit that they're on 10 points. Ashton Athletic are not far behind on 6. The bottom 3 are all tight on 6 points. So you could see a sort of change in positions over the next 3 4 games.
Looking at kind of that mid-third of the table, you win 1 game and all those around you fail to pick up points. You're up by about 6 or 7 places. As we say, it's early doors, and that table is so condensed right now. I don't think any team is in a position to kind of get carried away or get worried at one end of the table or the other. And I think we could see a lot of changes in the structure of the table, an awful lot before even Christmas, quite honestly.
So listen, if one shock wasn't enough, then Daisy Hill produced one of their own by beating Darwin 3-2. Now I'll have an attempt at pronouncing his name. Natumba Masanka scored the winner in the 99th minute in front of a crowd of 119. I didn't see that one coming either.
No, I didn't really. Darwin, as we know, really strong team. Got some really great players. I know that obviously with the departure of Leighton Smith as Leighton Mills, pardon me, as their manager, and then also Connor Hughes as well.
Good job, Jay-Z.
But then also Connor Hughes, he's departed as well, their top scorer from last season. You'd think that they were on a bit of a wobble. I did still expect them to beat Daisy Hill, but that's Nicky Hunt's first win.
They were down to 9 men, though.
Were Darwin down to 9
men? I'm sure they did.
I was looking at the red cards and I didn't notice that, but
I might be wrong.
Well, whilst whilst AJ is looking for that bit of information, what do you make of the Daisy Hill story?
I like Lee. I get on with him personally. I've known Lee for a few years.
Lee Hill.
It's a difficult one, especially when he was the one that's done all the legwork to get everyone in. He's worked his socks off. But again, it's that famous saying: it's football.
Yeah, but is it football now, or are we sort of navigating social media glamour as well? Because this story about Aaron Hunt, and I know, I've got myself into trouble in the past because I can't understand how people can make money out of recording themselves playing FIFA.
I understand.
I really don't get that. You into FIFA yourself?
No, I don't. No,
I wouldn't even know how to operate a control panel.
I know how to do that, but it gets to a stage where you just it's not for me no more. No, it's not for me.
So do you think Lee was because we obviously had him on the show? We felt as though he's very much a victim.
I do, yeah.
Of the success, if you like, really, because it had garnered a fair amount of success initially when Aaron come in. The crowds increased, but that said, now we look at the crowd that they had on. Was it Saturday or was it Tuesday night? I can't remember.
It was Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, 190, and it's dropped a lot.
We played them not so long ago in the Macron, and we were expecting a lot more than what was there. Yeah. And the other social media fellow was there as well.
Angry Ginge.
Yeah. So you expect more people to be there, but is it phasing out? I don't know. Lee has been a victim. I think if he was given more time, he would have turned it round.
He came across as a really nice bloke. Originally, he was coming on the show with Aaron, and then when they
and then you turned.
Yeah, but I wasn't being disrespectful because I found it really interesting that they can be make that kind of money from it, and the entrepreneurial skills. There's no doubt about it. They've created a wave. I just wonder whether they're creating more of a wave for themselves than they actually are for the football club, and that's my position.
Attention brings, social media and news brings attention. You know yourself when you got Pascal in the Sky Sports, the story. It just brings attention everywhere, and then what happens is you attract fans and people just come to see. People aren't, with all honesty, going to watch Daisy Hill, are they? They're going to see Aaron, whatever his name is, and Angry Ginge, and they're going to see him. And that's no disrespect to Daisy Hill, because they're a good club. They're a good club, but...
Well, they were better than us before Aaron turned up, weren't they? So
they were, yeah.
We got beaten by, I don't know whether it was Andy Barlow put the nut on.
It was.
Was it Lee Hill that you put the nut on?
Yeah.
We never actually asked him, did we?
Well, no.
Because he got a 7-match ban for that,
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's calmed down a little bit now.
Well, he's had to, given that he's sort of got the top job now. But
can't be picking on smaller people, can you?
No.
And now he knows he's got to pay his own fans.
He does, yeah. But Darwin were down to 9 men for that game. Oddly enough, though, they still equalised with 5 minutes to go, and then that before that last second winner from Ntumba Masanka.
Isn't Connor Hughes
at Daisy Hill? Yes, he is. Yeah, he is.
And then the other one that you said as well. Who was the other one? You mentioned before.
Was
Leighton
it was the manager.
Leighton used to be at Daisy Hill.
He was the gaffer.
So we've concluded that they got down to 9 men. Listen, sounds like a Roy of the Rovers kind of game, doesn't it? It sounds excitement. Definitely the kind of match that we like going to.
It is. It's the kind of match that I'm sure we've experienced even since we
experienced it to a small degree on Saturday, and we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we did.
Listen, we'll move on to Division 1 South. Runcorn Town are still top of the table. They had a solid 4-0 away win to Alsager on Tuesday night. They're now unbeaten in their last 11 games in all competitions. They're doing an amazing job, aren't they, the two managers there?
Runcorn will win the league.
Yeah. We predicted it at the start.
Certainly did.
We've had this conversation a few times, and I've had this conversation with Tommy. Tommy departed after we got beaten in the pre-season friendly against Runcorn.
Yeah.
We got battered 9-0, obviously, but I said to Tommy at the time, it was they're a really, really good team.
Yeah.
Don't judge the squad that you've got now based on the game that you've had against them, because they're an established team. They've got 2 really good managers there. We've had one of them on the show, haven't we? And they're doing great. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, they definitely are. I know, to look at the table, you've got teams like Stockport Georgians and Telford Town who are, fighting on fronts to keep up with Runcorn. But to look at how well Runcorn are doing, not just in terms of the results they're getting, but how they're getting the score lines that they're churning out. They're by far and away got the best goal scoring record in the division. They've got the second best defensive record in there. I keep saying this like a bit of a broken record, but solid defences will win you titles and trophies. And I feel like that's absolutely going to be the case for Runcorn. I don't think there's anybody to stop them, really.
No. Have you seen them play at all this season?
No, but a couple of our old players from Garswood, Caramel, Sese, but I know Martin. I speak to Martin Fallon regular. He was the secretary, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He said to me at the start he said to me pre-season about it. He said we'll win the league next year. He wasn't wrong. I think he will.
Totally endorse that. Can't see that going wrong for them. Stockport Georgians, 4 consecutive league wins have elevated them into second place.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, they beat Wolverhampton Sporting Community by 4-1. Josh Winthrop grabbing 2 goals there, which leaves Wolverhampton Sporting Community still drift at the bottom of the table, where Stockport Georgians are up to second, 3 points behind Runcorn in first. So another good outing for them. Probably a team that we didn't mention too much at the start of the season, but who are sort of slowly but surely creeping up there and looking to stay there, quite honestly.
It's really difficult to work out which is the strongest. We always assume that the Division 1 North is stronger than the South. Do you feel that as much?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I do, because if you look at the position, and that Runcorn were in Division 1 North, weren't they, one stage, and I think Division 1 North's a lot stronger. And that's no discredit to them teams in there. It's just, I think Northern football's a lot stronger. So listen, you just hit it on there. Sporting Community still rooted to the bottom of the table with the worst record in the league, so that's no surprise.
At the minute.
Market Drayton have been dragged into the bottom 3 as their form continues to slip.
Yeah, they lost 4-1 at home to Alsager Town. Luke Nichols grabbed a hat-trick in the first half, actually, to leave Town fully in command of this game. Market Drayton got a consolation back through a 71st minute penalty, but by then it was all over and done with by half time, I think.
It's set up to be a great club, isn't it?
Market Drayton, we've talked to Dan Dawson and we've seen the kind of structure that's going into that club, both on and off the pitch. Unfortunately, there's just something in there that's not quite clicking for all involved, and Market Drayton are getting dragged into it, unfortunately.
Which makes you wonder whether the budgets in Division 1 South are sort of coming up to par with the North West Counties Division 1 North.
It's a possibility there. I think you've also got to wonder as well, given how widely spread the First Division South is, from South Manchester all the way down to, what are we looking at? Yeah, exactly. Lower Midlands, maybe even a little bit of Shropshire area kicking around in there, and that obviously integrates with the Midland League, and whether there's just too many teams around there and not enough talent to kind of to go to all, whether the First Division South is actually, unfortunately, poorer for it because of the competition from the Midlands League. You're looking at the gates of the First Division South as well. Hormond and Market Drayton and Stafford all had some good healthy crowds of 120, 130, 150. Stockport Georgians had 63 in there.
It's not as well supported.
No, it's not. You've got Stockport County, and then you've got Stockport Town to contend with as well. But even Cheadle Heath Nomads, 71 turnout there on their game against Shawbury, and we talked about it last week. Wolverhampton Sporting Community's game against Wolverhampton Casuals, which garnered 15 in attendance. That's 15 fans turned out. That was incredibly disappointing.
That was probably the two committees put together as well.
It may very well have been.
No disrespect to them.
No, not really. But on a lighter note as well, Hormond, the last remaining team in the First Division South to be winless, got their first win of the season on Saturday. They beat Barnton, fourth place Barnton, that should be, in a really quite epic game by 4 goals to 3. Ethan Pickford with a penalty in the 89th minute. Pickford succeeding from the spot. Sure, as an Everton fan, that brings you a great deal of comfort, Frank, to secure the points and made sure that Hormond picked up their first win of the season. So well played to Hormond.
Yeah, just going back to the crowds there. You normally get them, associate them type of low crowds with a rugby league area, don't you, like Wigan or St Helens? But what's the excuse there? I know there's football clubs there, but there's no great football clubs there, is there?
In Wolverhampton?
Well, no, I'm sort of north. Well, okay, Wolves, apart from Wolves and Aston Villa, but I'm talking about more in that sort of in that area.
There's a lot of travelling in that division, though, isn't there?
Awful lot of travelling.
If you remember when Winsford got moved over, they appealed and just said we won't be able to get fans to certain games, and it would have been troubling times for them. Well, they're out of it now, aren't they?
Yeah, was it Main Road who has to be?
Yes, it was Main Road who has to be laterally moved to the south.
I think it makes you wonder why you want to go back to the south, unless you just thought you had more chance of winning the division.
Winning the league there, yeah. But even then, there are teams in there who are proving that it's not all a cakewalk. I mean, we had it last season when Winsford may have won the league, but Stafford pushed them all the way. Sandbach weren't at the equation particularly far, and now you've got Telford Town who've moved in there and have made a rocketing start under Matt Boswell. And Barnton not out of the equation either. Stafford there once again.
Boswell, a Burscough legend. Would you throw that one in there as well?
Yeah.
Do you remember, Matt?
I do, yeah. And we could face them.
Yeah, you could, yeah. Possibly, yeah. Listen, this week's weekend's focus is more on the FA Vars there's 20 clubs still involved from the Northwest Counties. However, there's still a good fixture list in the counties, which we'll discuss in part 3. So we'll move on to the FA Cup, and if you just get the piece on the prize money first of all. So the draw, the Emirates FA Cup first round draw for the 2024 25-26 season has been made, with ties scheduled to take place around the weekend of Saturday the 1st of November. Shown live by UK broadcast partner TNT Sports. The draw saw clubs from the EFL, League 1 and 2 join the competition and pitted them against the clubs that have progressed through the qualifying rounds. Now, if you've already played, if you played from the start in the extra preliminary round, then you've raked in £23,174 already.
That's a bit lucrative for teams down at our end.
It is. If you win the first round proper, you make an extra £47,750. And if you lose, you still get an extra £15,800. But of course, if any of those games are featured in the
on the
telly, then you're making upwards of £50,000, I think, for every game that's televised.
Absolutely amazing.
And if you go back, if you go back a few years ago, that Skem were privileged enough to get to the first round of the proper against Harrogate Town. The unfortunate thing, it was during the pandemic.
It was
COVID. That could have been much better for them. Certainly more lucrative, as we keep mentioning, for Marine. Marine made an absolute. That's fairy tale stuff, isn't it?
They were worthy of that, though, weren't they? Get into the third round as a non-league team. I mean, that's. I don't want to say that that's unheard of, but It really is fairy tale, and it's an absolute headliner for a team like Marine to do it.
Yeah, I keep saying the same thing. We'll talk about it later, but it's almost like the equivalent of Burscough winning the FA Trophy, which they did in 2003. Was it something like that?
Yeah, but we didn't get as much money, did we?
No, you didn't get as much money, and it was played at Villa Park. But we'll come to that in a minute. So listen, the FA Cup after a replay, Chester dumped Morecambe out of the FA Cup, piling more pressure on their manager Ashvir Singh Johal. They're also rooted to the bottom of the National League.
Yeah, we know that this was going to be hard. I mean, we're in about as much of the same predicament as Morecambe. We weren't. I mean, we know that our existence was secured, but our finances were a bit parlous. They certainly were last season, weren't they? And we had to work really hard to try and secure those finances in the off season. Both teams have also gone through an enormous rebuild job. From the ground up, with a new manager in place as well, trying to battle it out from relegation against teams that have long since been established, both in the National League and the Liverpool League, and then trying to fight on all fronts of the cup competitions as well. I wonder whether we've actually underestimated the scale of the job that Ashvir Singh Johal has to do, not only to rebuild the club and make it viable and make sure that a team actually turns out every week, but make sure that this team actually integrates itself properly and starts working and playing as a proper team. We know how this is going to be an enormous job, and I think this would have been a hard job for even somebody like Pep to come in and do.
But the difference is, though, they've got rid of the debt.
They have got rid of the debt,
Warriors.
Yeah.
Listen, they're not in the same position as in terms of they'll have contracted players.
Well, yeah.
So they can, they can keep them. You know what I mean? They can hold on to them. So
this is true.
That's not so much an issue. I wonder whether, because we knew that Derek Adams was going before he went. That was pretty much made clear. But he was on the radio Lancashire the other day talking about how he tried to keep the club together during and before the takeover. Sort of the cruel nature of the game is that he was no longer required. They wanted to bring their own manager in. Now, I don't want to personally go down the route of getting involved in the Morecambe FC Seek narrative, but because a lot of people have been talking about it on social media. But the question has to be asked, can you manufacture a club to those specifications that they obviously want to, or should the best man still get the job?
The best man should get the job, in my opinion. If you want a football club to be successful, you've got to give it to the best man.
So arguably, I mean, and it's been mentioned on social media today, there's talk about John Coleman, who's been sacked from Waterford. So he's free now. And of course, Derek Adams is still free. So the conversation point was today, well, let's get John Coleman back in at Accrington Stanley, and let's get Derek Adams back at Morecambe. Would seem to be, is that too easily make sense? Is that too much sense?
Does making sense create sense? It's got to be. It's not just that, it's the fact that the calibre of Derek Adams, what players can he attract just because it's him. You're talking, this fella that's got the job now, didn't he come from Wigan Youth?
He did, yeah. He was the assistant manager at Wigan.
He's not got a managerial track record, has he? And that would always be a gamble.
It was a question that was risen above, that was the forefront of everybody's thinking when he was given the job, is why are you giving such a enormous job to somebody who hasn't got the qualifications to do it? I know every manager has to start somewhere, but God, they tend to start out sort of around our neck of the woods in the non-league circuit first.
That'd be understandable if it was a ready set team. You'd understand that, but building a team when you haven't got a black book, so to speak, of the players that you need, is. There's just no common sense been used there.
Can we safely say then what they're trying to do is manufacture a club without being too controversial?
I don't really know what other kind of narrative that we can look at in that term, really, because I don't understand why he was considered to be the best man for the job. I don't.
Would any other chairman have given him that job?
No, I don't think so.
Not for Morecambe.
You've got to be tried and tested. Morecambe, is an ex.
It's a professional club. It's a professional club.
Not so long ago in Division 1.
Yeah.
Is it called Division 1 these
Championship?
days? No, it wasn't Championship.
No,
it was League One.
League One. Yeah.
So that's
were
quite a tumble, similar to what Skem have suffered in that sense. But the debt has been cleared. A new group of owners in there. I just think that they've got it wrong, and they're going to have to change the. They're going to have to change the thought process. How long do they give them before they pull the plug?
You would hope that that this new ownership group, after having kind of been sought after for so long, don't make any knee-jerk decisions. Because they can't.
I don't think they have to at the moment, because they're not too many points adrift from safety, are they? They've won 2 games, drawn 2. I think they've lost 8, something like that.
Yeah, so there's still every chance that they can turn this around. It's still
they
very
need to make a decision soon, because look at the situation that happened with Blackburn with the Indian owners, Venky's. It's quite similar.
It's still going on now.
Yeah, and they're still there.
Yeah.
But how many managers have they gone through because they've waited and waited so long, and it got too late.
So is it more understanding of football?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rather than you almost sort of buying a, what would you say it called? What would you call it?
A toy.
Yeah, you're buying a toy. I mean, well, everybody's buying a toy, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
But if you've got bottomless pockets, I don't know whether Punjab Warriors have got deep enough pockets.
They sound rich.
They do, don't they?
With a name like Punjab Warriors, they certainly sound like they're a bit heavy set. But I know that they've had to clear an awful lot of the debt.
It'd be so sad to see them go down again, wouldn't it? After all that's gone on, the club has been saved.
I think they need advising, don't they? I think they need to bring someone in, maybe a chief executive that knows football, or
director of football.
Maybe get a director of football to help.
Bring Derek Adams back in.
If they want to do this with Ashvia, then maybe get him a director of football or a head of recruitment.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't. The players that they're bringing in is just not working.
No. Listen, we wish them best of luck anyway, but we're going to move on to another controversial issue, and the only second of the controversial issues really is because they caused a fair bit of it themselves in the last couple of weeks, and that was Bury Football Club. But they've managed to get to the top of the table for the first time this season, I think, following a 5-2 win over Wythenshawe Town on Tuesday night. It's been an excellent week for the club because they beat Chasetown last weekend, and they were setting the pace at the time.
Yeah, they were.
It's been a really good week for Bury, and probably what we expected.
I think by and large, I think we were thinking that Bury would still be on the rise. They, ironically enough, they were playing Chasetown at a time when Chasetown were top of the league as well, and they've since usurped them on there, and they don't show any signs of slowing down either. The way in which they've beaten teams like Wythenshawe, like Chasetown, it's kind of incredible for a team that have just been promoted, isn't it? But maybe we expect that of Bury because it's Bury, because they're so well supported, well funded.
But that's the thing we talked about last week. I mean, this won't appease the critics. The critics will still be there. But if you're a supporter of Bury Football Club now, and you're top of the table, you can forgive them for fielding weakened teams in the FA Trophy and such like.
Well, of course, teams. And I was saying this last week. Teams at the top of the professional circuit do it, don't they? In the Carabao Cup, you got Man United fielding teenagers and kids. That's how they start out, isn't it?
Is this Billy Big Bollocks?
It's not. No, the ambition has got to be a club like Bury, just like Macclesfield. They need to be back where they belong. They're too big of a name. Listen, they lingered in the counties for, and that again, that's not me. So I love North West counties, but they were in there maybe 2-3 seasons longer than they should have been for a club like that. Obviously, before the merger come and stuff, they were still.
Which was great for clubs like us because we made a few.
Yeah, of course it was, and they will carry on doing what Macclesfield do till they get to a level where they meet the same budgets, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's not a case of they're buying the league. Listen, at the end of the day, every team that wins the Premiership buys the league. Or listen, if they've got the budget to do it, then fair play to them. But
it's the first thing you say when you're cheesed off, isn't it? You're buying the league.
Yeah, but everyone does it.
You've got to flex that budget.
But if you were in the same position now, you know, if you Skelmersdale United Football Club and Abramovich takes over Skem now, they're not going to be worried about whether Abramovich is going to be, you know, staying at the club or staying loyal to the football club.
I'd be more worried about his politics.
AJ's looking at me rather straight there, like
are
I'm
you
lost
going to be
plot.
bothered that Waterloo Dock are shouting at you, you're buying the league?
Exactly that's a great way of putting it, to be fair.
Fair play to them. Listen, they've got the
football club.
They're a top club. Listen, they give Burscough one of the best days ever. 8,000 fans last game of the season. And it was a special day. I obviously wasn't there, but it was a special day for the club to be involved in. That's what made it. It's gutting. It levels the field out in counties, them not being there, but it's gutting to lose them and Macclesfield. But
because teams at the bottom end, they get a decent payday out of it, get a good experience. And the thing is, Bury fans are actually really nice people for the most. We've never had any issue with Bury fans. Always wishing us the best, you know, whenever we integrate on social media.
It's only the Manchester teams, isn't it? I think. Listen, can it be jealousy? Can it be?
I think I've mentioned it before, but I made the cardinal sin many moons ago. 2010-11 season, I got invited onto a Welsh radio station, was asked about what I felt about Chester Football Club, and we were going neck to neck. And I said, this is a football club that's getting rewarded for failure because they've been parachuted into our division. I felt very much at the time that they should have been put in the Northwest Counties. They weren't, but my feeling at the time was because we'd been we'd worked really hard for a few seasons to get back. We'd spent an awful lot of money in terms of budgets to get out of that division and get promoted to the Northern Premier Division. So every time a team was parachuted into our league, and you know, the likes of FC Halifax were one of them as well, it's just sort of pegged us back a little bit further. But on reflection, I've changed my whole opinion about those kinds of clubs because they do bring a lot of money.
It's the revenue, isn't it? And it helps clubs. Listen, some teams have survived off Bury visiting their ground and Macclesfield visiting their ground. It keeps them going on the food, because you know yourself, the food, if you buy a pie, it's 300% profit.
Yeah,
300% profit, and you get an 800 fans there.
Yeah, and it's exciting if nothing else.
Of course it is.
I mean, and what you do get the opportunity of is if you've got a home tie against Bury, then people of sort of floating supporters might come and watch that game, and they might decide, well, I like this, and I'll come back again.
Around,
and I wonder how many, you know, if you did a poll, how many people actually carried on watching Burscough or Skem as a result of the games that we played at home against them. Be interesting to know.
It's interesting, yeah. I think it probably sort of steers more to what Jay was saying earlier. In the non-league is much more of a financially viable option for fans to access football this season, because everything is just so easy to get a hold of. It's easy to get a ticket, it's easy to get a pint, it's easy to stand in a good area and watch the game and actually just be involved in a game of football and a club.
Well, Marine's profile was increased by the game against Spurs, wasn't
it? On
TV, albeit it was done behind closed doors. After that, when the doors reopened again, you've seen the way their gates have gone. I think they averaged 1,700 and something last season, which was above Southport Football Club.
I think they've stabilised at about 1,400 this season so far.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. But even so, you know, that shows the power of non-league football when it's been, you know, broadcasted.
How much is it to watch Marine?
Oh, crikey, I think about £15.
While
we're waffling on, can you find out?
Yeah, crack on.
I mean, it's still good value for money, isn't it?
Yeah, 1,400 people there every week, and it's not bad, is it? And then you've got your bar and you've got your food.
Listen, they're in a unique position now. They've got a plastic pitch. You know, if the truth is to be told, then They reckon you can make anywhere between £275,000 to £300,000 per year for hiring new facilities.
And don't forget they've got the academy as well, haven't they?
Yeah, so they're making.
But they're doing things right. They're a good club, aren't they?
£16.50. So yeah, you ballpark figure, but you were right. General admission £16.50. So £16.50 times 1,400. That's a lot of money.
And what is it to watch Bury?
Bury, I think they put theirs up from £10 to £12.
It's 12, yeah.
Because of stewards.
There was a bit of commotion over it, up it to £12, but I think £12.
I think it was about £12.
And what are they getting a game? 2,000-3,000.
I think midweek they get around about 2.5.
I think they average about
weekend,
4. Don't
they get 3.5 to 4, depending on the size of the game.
Yeah.
To me, they're a good club, aren't they? They're a good club, and
they're still a big name.
People
still want to be associated with them.
Right, Ryan Lowe, when he used to manage them, they were a league team, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, listen, we've been fortunate enough to build up a really good relationship with them to such a point where Marcel Demasis, the former chairman of Burscough, is now our tracksuit.
He's invested in us. He's invested in
Bury. Former chairman of Bury is now the sponsor for the tracksuits.
He is, yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah. Really, really good.
It was.
I bet there's a plug for Marcel.
No, there's a plug for Marcel.
Don't ask me how to pronounce the company. I've done that on the advert, but I can't.
Piedra de Cedra.
Piedra de Cedra. Yeah, good plug for them. Mm-hmm. And thank you again, Marcel. Thank you for that. Listen, we'll move on to not so much a controversial issue, but it is in a way, I suppose. But we're talking about Southport Football Club now in the National League North. They're not doing particularly well at the moment. The bottom of the division on 4 points. They were playing in the last qualifying round against FC Halifax at the weekend. They lost 3-1, but had a really, really good gate. 2,194. I think only 300 and something were Halifax supporters. So a lot of Southport people come out to watch that game. But they're back to the nitty gritty of National League North football, and they've got a really challenging game at Oxford City this weekend. But as City are at the wrong end of the table themselves, it's a good opportunity for Southport to pick up some points. Where do we see that one going?
You'd love to see that Southport would take a bit of heart from what they went through against FC Halifax. You know, they went behind after 5 minutes, but equalised on the 9-minute mark and actually held that for a good 15 minutes themselves, but then unfortunately Halifax scored and then scored again in the second half, and there's no shame in that. Losing to Halifax, a lot of teams would do that, from the National League North, and Southport were one of them. It was just one of those days. But if you think about the momentum that may have built, and also the heart that they would have taken from not being walked over, you'd surely want to take that into the next game against Oxford City. Only 2 places above them and 4 points separating them. I want Neil Dans to win that game, and I want Southport fans to win that game. And
it gives them an opportunity now to concentrate on the league. The FA Cup is a bit of a distraction. I don't know whether that would have helped them get into the first round.
It depends on financially. You look at it. It's everything for clubs like that. Everything. You're playing for money, aren't you? That's all you do. You're never going to win a trophy like that. You're never going to. I remember going to the game when they played Sheffield a few years ago, and it was busy, and they must have made a few quid in there. But they need to pick things up, don't they?
Yeah, most definitely. Listen, just looking back to the FA Cup there, probably the plum tie and the one that's going to be televised, I would imagine, would be Luton Town versus Forest Green Rovers, Robbie Savage's team
versus
Rob Edwards' team.
It's not Rob Edwards.
Is it not Rob Edwards these days?
What's the name of the Arsenal player that retired? Always injured.
I can't remember.
Listen,
you look into that and I'll just...
Jack Wilshere.
Jack Wilshere's
just taken over. Yeah.
So that's a really, really interesting tie. It
is a very interesting tie, What do we think about Jack Wilshere sort of being manager at Luton? It's a big
How old is he for starters?
He's retired young though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's about 37, something like that.
Because he was a big prospect, big name, wasn't he?
Yeah, but again, injuries, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Injuries cost him management.
It'd be interesting to see how well he does in management. There's no doubt about that. But listen, going back to Chester, after beating, who did we say they beat?
They beat...
They won the replay, didn't they?
I've forgotten already.
Morecambe,
yeah, of course. How could I forget that? They've been rewarded with a tie at Cambridge United. Don't know whether that's a good one or a bad one.
It's not bad. Cambridge League 2 right now. Yeah. So, I think...
You look at the ones that could be realistic winners, when you look at non-league teams and you think of anyone that could progress into the second round.
South Shields.
Who's
South Shields, yeah. Who they played?
Shrewsbury.
Yeah, that's a feasible win for them, isn't it?
A realistic one, yeah. I'm just kind of looking through here.
Tranmere Rose versus Stockport County.
I don't know about that. I think that will be a Stockport win. To be honest, I think I think Stockport are a really strong side. They're constantly at the top end of the table these days. Who are we
There's only one, and Malden and Tiptree, they're the lowest placed team in it, are they?
I believe so, yeah.
Are they they're not the non-league, are they?
They certainly, they're non-league. I think
are
they? Are they national?
You have to be step 6 and above, don't you? To be in the FA Cup. Oh, no, step 5 now. Step 5.
Yeah, step 5.
Of course.
I don't know a great deal about Malden and Tiptree.
No.
You can be in the FA Cup if you're in step 6, can't you? No, you can't.
They stopped that now.
Yeah,
you used to be able to.
Right.
You used to be able to get a wild card, didn't you?
Because remember LR when they first come up.
Yeah.
I think once upon a time you used to be able to get a wild card, but you can't even get a wild card.
No.
Not these days.
Say.
No.
Yeah, but listen, we'll like I say, those ties start on the 1st of November or around the 1st of November.
Yeah, I think Hemel Hempstead Town have got a great away game at Wigan Athletic though. That'll be an amazing.
That's the game you'd want if you were Chester.
100%.
Yeah,
Chester versus Wigan. Yeah.
Listen, they've played each other quite often in the past, haven't they? So that would have been a good tie for them. But listen, let's go on to the National League North.
Yep.
Marine were battered 4-0 at home to Cares and Ashton. A healthy crowd of 1,393 witnessed the defeat. Which it must have been a bit of a shock for the supporters, considering they managed to beat Macclesfield the week before, but we did say Macclesfield were down to 10 men themselves.
Well,
so that played a big part.
Yeah, Marine went down to 10 men this time around, and where Macclesfield were sitting there or thereabouts with Marine at the lower end of the table, Curzon and Ashton are sitting in 7th and sort of looking quite well placed for fighting for the playoffs. Obviously, the playoffs are quite big in the scheme of it at in the National League North. It's quite spread out, and after they went down to 10 men, I think it was always going to be a bit of an uphill struggle. I think for Bobby Grant, I think the manner in which they lost will actually, it won't be lost on him. They were down to 10 men from the 26th minute. They didn't concede until the 57th. And actually 2 of the goals that Curzon Ashton conceded were in added time. So it's a bit of a balancing act of whether Marine switched off in extra time, in added time, or whether Curzon Ashton, as befitting their status as playoff chasers, just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
He's getting a fair bit of stick, Bobby, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think that was to be expected, really. I mean, Marine by
more to do with the departures, some of the players that have moved on from the football club.
Well, yeah, but that was always going to be a struggle, wasn't it? The Marine are a team who have fought off relegation last season. This season, it looks like they're going to be. I don't want to say that they're going to be down and out or there or thereabouts, but right now they're not sitting very pretty. It is a bit uncomfortable for them.
I think the general consensus of opinion is they're still fighting way above the weight. Marine, and they haven't. At the end of the day, the owners haven't got bottomless pockets. There might be money coming through the turnstiles, and through the various sort of establishments like the bar and what have they. But
they needed.
I think the very fact that they're considering moving to a bigger stadium, they're trying to attract
a greater prospect of people. I think it probably spoke a bit of volumes as well that they had to they put a fundraising initiative in place called Bobby Grant's transfer budget. Now, admittedly, it raised quite a decent bit of cash. I think it was around about the £30,000 mark that they managed to raise from that. I know.
Do you know what? I still think Marine will push for the playoffs.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because I know. Obviously, Chris Stam's there, isn't he? Stammers is there, and
is he with the first team now?
He's the coach, first team coach. Chris Stammers is an unbelievable coach, and if they all listen to him, and I know Bob, I speak to Stammers every other day.
Listen, everybody says the same thing about Stammers. He's a brilliant coach.
He's unbelievable. He's Stammers could work in league football comfortably. Listen, obviously he runs the academy at Marine, and all the lads that they love him. They love him. Did
it make sense for him to step up at Marine?
You can't. You couldn't take that opportunity away from him. But I speak to him about, obviously, because he doesn't read any. He said he started to stay off social media because of the thing, but he don't read it, and he says Bobby Grant's one of the best man managers he's ever worked with, and so I don't know what's happened with players.
Do you think we're too harsh on up and coming managers? We don't give them the opportunity. I mean, we've talked about Joe Hall from Morecambe, untested.
Yeah, but Morecambe's a bit of a different league compared to Marine, and that's no disrespect to Marine.
It's only one level above, though, isn't it?
It is now, but if you think about where Marine were 2 or 3 seasons ago, and compared to Morecambe, it's a whole kind of a bit of a that chasm gets bigger.
But we feel as though Bobby's going to get a good chance here anyway, because they're still sort of middle of the table-ish, aren't they, at the moment?
Bobby done a fine job at Radcliffe, didn't he? Yeah. When he was there as well, he done a very good job. Listen, they just need to give them time. They've come in. I don't know whether they've rebuilt. I don't know how many players they retained and stuff. They'll be okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. I'd like to see people, young managers, given a good opportunity as well. They've
got to be given an opportunity somewhere, haven't they? Eventually there's going to be a first team job that is offered to them, and more often than not, it is around the non-league area, isn't it? It's a really good breeding ground for brand new managers.
Well, there's another manager that I thought would come back out of retirement and start scoring some goals for them. Probably their weakness at the moment is the lack of goals. But I don't see them. I don't see them struggling through the entire season. I think they're
not as much as
they're actually playing well. They're playing well, and Stammers is the most honest person you'll ever meet in your life. A bit too honest sometimes. But if he was saying they were playing poor, then I'd understand. But he's not. He's saying they're playing well. He just wishes that sometimes they take certain things from training into. He said you watch him at training and they're just a different level, and then they'll get to a game and then they're sending off or something silly can cost.
Game changes all along. Listen, one of fellow strugglers last season were Radcliffe alongside Marine. They managed to scrape away, escape from the bottom of the league, as did Marine. But they've managed to get into 4th place now after 4 consecutive victories. They beat Kidderminster Harriers away from home 5-1. That's an exceptional win.
It is an exceptional win, yeah.
These evergreen managers, Morley and Johnson, have found their feet at the club after a difficult season last season.
Yeah, I mean, they came in mid-season, didn't they, Johnson and Morley?
No, they've been there for a few years now. Since Bobby Grant left.
All right.
Bobby Grant was the manager before they went.
Oh, right.
So they've been.
I didn't realise Bobby Grant had been involved in management before.
Yeah,
because he went to Marine as a player last season.
Did, yeah.
He was at Radcliffe.
Oh, right.
Because then I think, did he play for Remy? Did he sign for Remy in the counties?
God.
Oh, right.
Yeah, last season, I'm sure.
That's why we brought you on the show.
He's I'd still play Bobby now.
Yeah.
I think Bobby would still play Bobby now, to be quite honest. Yeah.
Listen, we'll return to. There's nothing else in the National League North, is there? You want to discuss?
No, I think we're pretty much covered. Yeah,
well, that's Northwest Premier Division.
It's Northern Prem.
You mentioned them before.
Yeah, I did. So Clitheroe having a bit of a rough going of late. You know, they lost to Stalybridge Celtic on was it last night? Yeah, last night by 3 goals to 1 to leave them 14th. In the division, they have made signings at the start of the season, some really, really impressive ones. I think it's just teams above them that are starting to find their form, flex their muscle a little bit more. I've still got every confidence in Sean that he's going to get Clitheroe up towards the higher heights of the.
I think the transition from being a highly sort of decorated professional footballer taking on the management role at a non-league club is a totally different landscape. Who did he take over from? His uncle?
Clitheroe.
What's his second name?
McConville.
Yeah, Sean McConville he took over from. He was assistant manager to John Coleman. You know, I'm seriously getting old. I need to do a test. There's that much statistics to think about ahead of this show that I can't remember.
There is.
He's back there. The ex-manager who Sean McConville took over from. I think he's back. Helping Clitheroe now.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's right, mate.
It's a merry-go-round, isn't it?
It is a problem. Well, that's the thing at this level, isn't it? It is just a serious.
But I didn't know whether he'd gone to Waterford with John Coleman. One assumes he didn't. But then I should have done my homework before I started talking about it. But then it wasn't on the agenda. Was it? So
no.
Waterford's in Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
He signed young Josh Miles, didn't he? John Coleman from Southport.
Yeah.
Or Blackpool. He was on loan. So I wonder what'll happen with him.
It's an interesting one now, isn't it? Because John Coleman is available. Do you think that there's still a lot
You've
of clubs
just got
that
Andy Barlow, Frank. You okay?
No. No, I'm thinking more. And listen, I'm not trying to make suggestions, but there's a lot of clubs in this area now struggling managerial wise. I mean, we talked about.
Can they afford John Coleman? Is the question.
Well, we talked about the other fella going back to what's his name?
Aaron.
No, we talked about. I can't remember. The other fella going back to Morecambe.
Derek Adams.
Derek Adams going back to Morecambe. But I mean, John Coleman could be in for a shout, couldn't he?
I think John Coleman's in for a shout in most places, given his pedigree. I think he probably has the pick. It's just who can afford him. He's John Coleman. Still going to command a bit of money. You know, to
he could go to anyone, couldn't he?
Of course he could. Of course.
I could see him going back to Accrington Stanley because things are not working out there at the moment, are they?
Not at the minute, no. But going back to Clitheroe very briefly, 14th they may be out of 22 teams. They're certainly not in any real relegation fight. And actually, they've got games in hand on the teams above them, nearly all of them, at least 2, even 3 on some of them. You win 2 of those games, you know, they're back up in the top 8. So Sean's had a bit of a rough run in the last couple of games. He's having the blip in the water that we've been talking about that's been happening with near enough every single team. Sean's just experiencing his. They'll be up in the top 8. Absolutely no doubt about it. They're a class team, got some really good players behind them.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Listen, we're going back to the controversial corner. We're going to take a controversial corner. I mentioned it at the top of the show. Are budgets destroying non-league football? It was something that was mentioned on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. Or soaring wages to blame. What is our thinking? I believe personally that a lot of clubs go along the line of having unrealistic budgets to start off with, but that comes right down to step 6. And then if you think about the Liverpool Premier League, we got told that certain clubs getting paid even at that level.
Yeah. I think we may have just played one of the teams that are paying their players.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Let's say May. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Well, I was at Garswood last season and we played a player that was on £200 a game.
Whoa!
I won't say who.
You paid the player?
No, we played against a player that was on £200 a game.
It's bordering on the ridiculous, isn't it?
Yes, it's a difficult one. I understand for step 5, step 6. Anything else other than that is, if you're getting paid to play below that, then you shouldn't be in that league, in my opinion.
If you're not a Bury Football Club or a Macclesfield, what is a reasonable budget in the Northwest Counties?
It depends what your income is as a football club, doesn't it? What you're getting through the gates, what you're selling behind the bar, behind
the
food hall.
But if you consider those top 6, top 8 teams in every one of those divisions to be the top earners, the ones that are creating decent revenue, what would you say is a winning? I mean, I don't know what Lower Breck were paying last season.
I couldn't tell you what Lower Breck were paying last season.
We know, or we certainly heard that it was.
We seen the accounts, didn't we, for a certain team published how much money they'd spent, and you can't compete with that. But funnily enough, Lower Breck did, didn't they?
So what would you say is? I'm angling for a way in here. What would you think is an average sort of wage? Not average wage,
for
but
a player,
an average. Well, an average budget. I think the average wage is probably around about £120, isn't it?
Yeah,
for a decent top-notch player.
It depends whether you're at the bottom of the table or the middle or the top. I think you're looking at probably £3,000 to win the league, aren't you?
Yeah. We've always said three and a half.
I think £1,500, £200 higher, lower.
Yeah, depending on your manager and the players that you've recruited.
It depends on your recruitment.
You could be in with a chance like Lower Breck were, or you're certainly in a chance of getting into the playoff positions, aren't you?
I think that's playoff, mid-table, and then anything below that is just hope for the best.
What do you think of clubs that set a budget at the beginning of the season when they realise that they're not going down and not going to go up, and then they cut the wages and you see them plummeting?
I don't agree with that. Because
you've got to set your stall out.
My thing is, and I might be different than other people, a club is run on stability. Now, if you can get a team together and keep that team with your 8th one season, and then, well, you look at Lower Breck, what they done last season compared to a couple of seasons before, and they haven't changed every single player. It's about stability and trying to keep the same team that you've got, and you don't need to be cutting budgets. And because if you keep that budget and you keep that team for that season and you finish 9th or 10th, you could win the league next year.
Yeah,
you could win the league, because I listen to I read what you say and your interviews. You need togetherness. You need to gel as a team. And it's all well and good. You keep bringing these players in. You have a look at Charlotte Richard. They don't sign loads and loads of players every single season. They don't change the team. They'll add 1 or 2, and they're a very good team. And they've kept. If you have a look at Charnock's team, I bet they've still got some of them players they had 6 years ago, or when the managers come in. Or in hindsight, you know what I mean. But I don't agree. I don't agree with cutting the budget. That's why people say, if you're there or thereabouts at Christmas, that's where you know that you're gonna have a push.
That's where you need to be increasing your budget almost.
Look at Burscough last year. You look at the run they had just before Christmas, and then look at the run they had just after Christmas, and they changed quite a few players. Of course they did, but not a full team. They kept the core of the team together because nothing changed.
Yeah, if you'd have cut the budget,
you lose them
players, and then you lose the momentum going into the next season.
But the problem is, if you cut the budget and you lose players, you lose games. Then you lose fans, because nobody wants to go and watch a losing team, do they?
No.
And they're not going to stand there in the pouring down rain because of you're getting beat 4-0 every single week.
But listen, we're all in agreement. Unrealistic budgets are ruining non-league football to a large degree.
Now, is that down to overinvestment, or is that down to player power?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? I think player power plays a big part in it. And something I was going to say, and you've just reminded me, really, is that the other problem is that a lot of managers, when they're talking to other managers, they over-egg what they're getting. So what you have is a situation where, I'm not going to say, I'll say Andy Barlow, for example, might go to Dave Dempsey, and Dave Dempsey might say, you know, we've got a £3,000 a week budget, and then I'm saying if we were level pegging, and then Andy Barlow comes back to me and says, listen, we're not going to get anywhere near Burscough unless we're paying over £3,000 a week, and then chairman with deeper pockets would probably go. So you'd end up in a bit of an auction, don't you? With
See, I find it the other way around sometimes, where managers will say they're getting less than what they are. Certain managers
the Maverick managers don't though. The more Maverick managers, they tend to over.
Proper managers won't talk about what they're getting, will they?
I don't know. I think there's an awful lot of bullshit in non-league football,
Of course there is.
And I think it ruins the sort of feel of football.
Can ruin the feel of football. It can actually ruin the establishment of a football team as well, who sort of pay over the odds and then find that they've actually got to make quite drastic scales and cutbacks. I think there's a couple of teams within the First Division North that we're seeing who are having to go through such an arrest of their budget because they've overspent on bigger name players at one point or another, and are now feeling the effects of it.
Are you pointing?
No, no, Franklin. I'm just speculating.
We talk about Division 1 North.
Yeah, we're just speculating.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Well.
Where are they?
All right. Listen, if this was videoed, you'd be able. Listen, we've established that there's clubs there, and there's clubs that won't shy away from the fact that they're paying big wages.
Yeah.
But we've mentioned £350, £400 for players. That's not right in Division 1. I mean, I can imagine if you're a Bury Football Club.
Of course. But if my strike partner was on £350 and I was picking up 40, I don't think I'd be best pleased either. I don't think it builds.
Well, that's another question, isn't it? The disparity between players' wages, because that can cause ructions in the dressing room.
Of course it can. Yeah. And again, that's player power. And I think in this area where you're not contractually obliged to honour a commitment to a club. But
there are some that are.
Yeah, there are some that are, absolutely. But more often than not, you have the majority of your squad not on a contract, right? Yeah. Exactly. And it's those kind of players that will leave for 10 or 20 quid a week.
Teams like us couldn't afford to contract, though. Listen, you've seen LR contracting quite a few players this year, more than they've ever done.
Sure, yeah.
But that's a big gamble in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Players get injured.
Because if they get injured, but it also protects the club, doesn't it? Because certain players will go and score goals, and then you know yourself, if I was Bury manager and I seen him score 25 goals, I'm putting 7 days in. You just put 7 days. That 7 day rule is easy. You look at it with Chester and Southport the other week. It's a bit of it's a hard one when you're trying to build something.
Yeah.
But for the sake of what, maybe. If you're on a low contract, it's not so bad. But if you're on a high contract...
Well, listen, we're coming on to Matt Saunders, and if anybody doesn't know Matt Saunders, he's the manager of Bracknell Town. What I was trying to say before was that this equation that they work off in terms of playing cup games, whether staying in the cup games or playing your first choice players in the in those games is good, and they worked on sports science. The actual amount of injuries that occur in cup football are minimal in comparison to what we believe. We like to keep players out of cup games, don't we? Because we want to be more prolific and better in the league. But listen, he's having problems of his own. He's had a 2-0 defeat at home on Monday. and he quite vocally threw many of his players, the senior players, right under the bus. Now, we've witnessed this a few times this season so far ourselves. We're not going to mention names. The question is it right? Should we be throwing players under the bus? Listen, okay, I think we can mention Michael Clegg because we've had Michael Clegg
but
on the show, but he's done a good job off the back of that now. I think they're on an unbeaten.
Well, Michael Clegg never actually threw any players under the bus by name, did he? He just said that there are players who won't play for the club again. It's completely open to interpretation and a bit of jigsaw putting together as to which players
Matt Saunders did either. I think he just mentioned some of his senior players, and what he was saying is that some of the other players, his more junior players, were putting in a shift where they weren't, and now, as a result of that, they've been let go, haven't they, since that broadcast? I don't like to see it, but is it a question of, and you know this yourself because you're the one that films the interviews after the games with the managers. Should we? I mean, it's okay when Barney wins, like Barney got a win on Saturday, and you put him right in front of the camera. That's okay. But if it had been a 5-0 defeat, I don't know how Barney would have reacted to that. Have we got a responsibility as a football club to make sure that we don't film them after a show, after a poor showing?
No. I think managers, and particularly when you're looking at clubs trying to be as professional as what they can, you've got Eric Ten Hag, who was still interviewed at Man United after he got battered 7-0 by Liverpool. There's an expectation that you've still got your responsibilities to the media and to the fans, and that's what I'm trying to push. It was different last season because it was every week, and Tommy barely got a break from it. So I wasn't expecting him to stand in front of the camera and try and explain his way through a loss again and again and again. But this season, when the results have been an awful lot closer, and particularly in these early days as well, when the fans are still trying to get to understand exactly what kind of system we're playing, what kind of players we've got at our disposal, what changes need to be made, anything that's going to enlighten their understanding of how the club is operating at this point in time. It's a manager's responsibility to do that, even if we lose by 5-0.
I mean, listen, we're going to talk more about Burscough, but from your perspective, Jay, if Dave Dempsey threw all his players under the bus
individually
after the game,
then I think the club step in and manage it. It's all you can film. It's like you said, you've got to get it right. But if it went a bit too far, then we'd edit it.
Yeah.
We've either edited it or we wouldn't put it out. I don't think, with everything that's going on with mental health and that, so if you start slating players and stuff like that and saying certain things, then players are going to know who they are. It's a manager's job, in my opinion, to protect his players, and it's down to us.
Leave it all in the changing rooms.
I think it's easy to forget as well that a lot of players who are going under these microscopes are in their teens and 20s and 30s. They're still very young men by all accounts. They haven't got a thick skin like what you get in your 40s and your 50s.
There's criticism, then there's constructive criticism. 100%. As you being the manager or the coach, that's down to you. It's all well and good saying once you're on that field, it's down to you. But I'm afraid that if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn.
Maybe I'm naive, but I don't see many players, very, very few players, that actually go onto the pitch to perform badly. Do you?
Listen, everyone has them days. It happens. We're talking before about. I'm sure if Paddy and played Nelson 10 times, I bet they wouldn't get beat 6-0 more than once. Yeah. I'm not saying they'd win 6-0 either, but I'm just saying things happen on a day. You don't know what players have done the night before, what they've been through the night before, but I'm afraid
Matt Saunders was suggesting some of his players are refreshing in an undesirable fashion, either before or after the games. And well, the question was, these are non-league footballers. We've had this discussion before. We went to Selby a season ago in the FA Vars. Who said to me at the time?
Phil Priestley.
Phil Priestley said to me at the end of the game, he said, a third of your players will get back on the bus, a third of them will go on with the mates, he said, and the other third will go with the mum and dads, he said, and the people that are on the coach, he said, you'd be lucky if they drink one beer between them. And of course, I think that was the case. I think the only person that drank a beer might have been Ben Barnes, if my memory serves me correct.
I think Darren may have had one, Darren Askew, but we had Renata, we had Alex Davis, and we had Joe Langford, who either don't drink or was not old enough to drink.
Too busy on the phones.
Yeah.
There's no camaraderie. I like old school myself. I don't know what you think. I mean, do you sort of, or does Dave encourage players to have a beer, or loosen up a little bit?
They all go into the bar.
Is it compulsory? They've got to go in the bar after the game?
Yes. After a league game, yeah. Well, as a club, we'd expect nothing less anyway, putting food on. Because...
costs.
It's just polite as well.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do. If we're putting the effort in to stand there and watch you for 90 minutes and work our socks off all week for you to make sure that you're all right, then the least you can do is show your support and come up for some food and have a drink. Yeah. Now, like you just said, we went to Sheffield on the coach not so long ago. It was a scream. Yeah. It was a scream.
I love them occasions.
It was brilliant. I don't drink, so I'm sat there sober. I've got my wife working, and you've got all them dancing, singing. We've got karaoke videos. They have the karaoke machine. That's what I'm saying.
Are there any good singers amongst them?
Yeah, there was a couple, to be fair. There was a couple. Christian McCoco wasn't very good.
Well, listen, we'll come on to Christian McCoco in a little bit. But listen, we'll end part one of the show there. In part two of the show, we're going to step into the world of Jayhawks and Burscough. But for now, we're going to have a commercial break, and we'll come back to you soon. A heartfelt shout out to all the businesses supporting Skelmersdale United Football Club, especially T&W Garners and Pedro de Seda Enterprises. Thank you to everyone who donates to the club, supports our race nights, raffles, lottery bonus ball scheme and the weekly draw in conjunction with NYCBA. A special thanks to those who organise such fundraising events, with a particular mention for the incredible Lee Davis and Rowena Hughes. To everyone who stands by us both on and off the pitch, we are truly grateful. If you wish to sponsor the show, please contact me at chairman.skemutbfc@gmail.com, or alternatively call me on 077 66054 548. All proceeds will go to Skelmersdale United Football Club. Thank you for your unwavering support. Hello and welcome to the second part of the Speaking Frankly Football Show. And as we said before the commercial break, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking to Jayhawks, learning a little bit more about him and of course his journey at Burscough Football Club. Now you've recently, as far back as, when was it when you were appointed as Vice Chairman at Burscough?
What month is it now?
October.
Yeah, so it would have been, when does the season start? August, yeah, brilliant.
Wow.
So
you've been, a lot of people might not know that you've been involved with Burscough for 5 years in various roles. Do you want to explain a little bit about your background in football first, briefly, and how you managed to get involved with Burscough Football Club?
Yeah, well, as a youth, I was a high level player. I used to play for Wigan, and then I just went. Life just got a bit complicated, and I just went down the wrong route and just. Football.
Wine, women, and song.
I wouldn't say so much wine or song.
You have to be careful what you say.
Well, it was just life choices, moving away from my dad and. Getting in with, I wouldn't even say the wrong crowd, just not wanting to commit to something. Typical teenager stuff. And then obviously I had my lad, and it all started there again.
Coaching with the lad?
Well, I used to play myself Sunday League, and we had a good team at the Herald, but I took one training session with my lad, and it's all his fault, Frank.
Yeah.
It's all his fault. So
was that the natural progression for Burscough Football Club then?
Well,
how did he get involved with them?
To be fair, we had Herald, which was one of the most successful. Well, it probably is the most successful junior team to come out of Southport, and then COVID happened, so we took our dog for a walk because we were. If you remember, we had to train in certain amounts. Was it in sector 5?
Yeah,
or so?
you could.
It was the spacing or whatever it was called. So we ended up looking for somewhere to train, and then we drove to a field behind Tesco, and I noticed that Victoria Park wasn't there no more.
Is that the first time you realised?
It was, to be honest, being in Southport and being away from it was...
So you didn't know a great deal about non-league football?
Well, I was...
More than, say, Southport and Marine and things like clubs, the bigger clubs?
Not really. It was never something that I was into. Obviously, Burscough Football Club has always been part of my life because it was the first ground I ever watched a live football game when they played Liverpool and was it the Senior Cup, and then Gerrard played. And then obviously when I was a kid, that's where all your finals were played. So it was always something. And then obviously we seen this ground that was being built. So I've just decided to have a nosy, and I've bumped into an old fella there. I said, what's going on here? So it's Burscough's new ground. I was like, right. This old fellow was Nick's dad, Ronnie Matthews.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Who Ronnie, by the way, was top guy. He helped build Burscough. He was brilliant. So he put me in touch with Martin. So I rang Martin and just had a chat with him, and he said, yeah, we wanted some junior teams. That's when my life was ruined, Frank.
Well, we often talk about the moment when you were dragged into non-league football. My dad dragged me as a little kid when I wasn't really interested in football. I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I use that terminology quite often, but it becomes addictive, as you know, and then it's a case of you can't leave it easily, can you?
No, I like I said to you before the show started, I'm not interested in professional football.
No.
To be honest, I didn't even know England. Did England play last night? Or was it?
They played on Tuesday.
Played Wales, didn't they?
They played Tuesday. Last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last night.
No, they played Wales the other day, and they qualified for the World Cup last night, didn't they? Yeah. But I can't remember who they... I'm the same as you. They're playing Moldova. No, I don't know who they were playing, actually.
Dempsey asked me on Saturday, he said, when we were walking away from the ground, who'd Everton play today? I said, I don't know. He said, it's international break. I was like, I don't care, Dempsey. It's just, it doesn't bother me, but that club does. It does. Yeah. I prefer looking at how Paddy got on, how all the teams, and I know a lot about non-league football. Now,
I know you said that after and we'll talk about the Garswood, and you explain that as a sort of good learning curve. So you never really you left Burscough, but you never really left it. But you took your players from your under-18s over to Garswood, and you made a really good, successful team.
Yeah.
Were they bottom of the division at the time?
Yeah, they were. When we took over, they were bottom. Yeah. So we done well. We done well. We brought some good players in. Obviously, I took players in that we'd linked from counties, and we knew from counties and stuff. So yeah, we done all right. We would have done better, but I think we just announced that we were leaving a bit too soon. And the players just...
Yeah, because it tailed off a bit. I went to watch a few games at the end of the season. I bumped into you. And it felt like that end of season...
It felt like we were running it down. And it was no disrespect to Garswood. That it wasn't their fault. It was just... We'd done what we said we'd do. We told them that we'd keep them up.
In fairness, that was a promotional winning team. Had it started at the beginning of that season,
if that team would have started the league, I think they would have won the league, Frank. It was the quality of players they had, and it was. And listen, there's some very good teams in that league. You've got your Warley Range, you've got your Range or Bridge? I can't remember. Your Goulburns, you've got now Bollington. There's some really good teams in there, but we had some good players.
And we take it for granted how difficult it is at that level, don't we?
It's very difficult, and yeah, it's tough. It's tough. The pitches and stuff like that. Some of the grounds, even listen, Garswood are trying the best to get their pitch right.
There's a lot of hard work goes into running Garswood, doesn't there?
Of course there is.
A lot of committed people there, and they're the same people that have probably been there for years, really.
Martin and Georgie are absolutely spot on. Rob and Clarkey, they're brilliant. The whole committee is brilliant. They just weren't ready for my ambition, so to speak. And listen, he'd be honest, and even if they were ready, it still would have been a struggle because it's a tiny place. Yeah. It's a tiny place, so if you want to push to counties or stuff like that, it's going to be tough unless you get an investor, because the area is not massive. You're going to get the fan base. You'd be relying on like away fans.
I always think that they've got a ground which is more than what we've got.
Of course they have, and they've got a lot of ambition for that ground in the future. But unfortunately, the kit wasn't green.
No, I know you said that the pull that green shirt had for you. So you've returned to Burscough as vice chairman. There's been a little bit of a shake-up behind the scenes. I know you're proud of your appointment and you're full of passion and ideas. What kind of impact are you hoping to have now that you've returned to the club?
We just want to get the stability back. Which, to be honest, Paul with the infrastructure, if it wasn't for Paul, we would not be where we are now, because that club was ready to just go when Martin passed away. It was a difficult place to be, and Paul was advised not to take it on.
He told me that.
Yeah, and do you know what he said? I can't just let a club go with that history. And he's done amazing. He's done, because he's not a football fella. He's not. He'll like watching football, but it's not something he's interested in to do it. And
by his own ambition. Yeah, he doesn't pretend.
No,
does he?
And he's been absolutely brilliant, but there's not much he can do on the football side of things. He wants to push the infrastructure and try and give us a ground like Victoria Park meant to the village. And listen, you've got to move with the modern times, Frank. And as much as the village was upset with the ground going, it had to happen, and it did happen. But we're getting there slowly. We're getting there, and.
Yeah, I was just going to say, listen, I wouldn't be doing the show any justice if I didn't mention what happened with Dave Dempsey at the beginning of last season, and I think it was the end of the 23-24 season when he left to go to Prescott, and then he returned. Arguably, many people would have said that the door should have been slammed in his face, but he was in the phase of rebuilding the club before his departure. As such, I believe that it made sense to bring him back to the club, and by the looks of things, you've made the right decision.
When he left, you can't really knock him, because you know he's local to Prescott. He used to play for them. He's ambitious. The two leagues higher than us, and you can't knock him for it. It was a tough decision. I think he might have been used as a pawn, maybe. But we couldn't do nothing but have him back, and it was just what we've been desperate for at this club is stability. Obviously, we through managers we've had Toddy, we've had was it Brody after Toddy? Yeah, it was. Yeah. Then we've had Brody, then we've had Conrad and Ganners, and then we had it was Demps, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Demps. And to be honest, he's 2 games off being 100 games in charge.
Yeah, I think he's done over 12 months now, hasn't he?
It's nearly 2 years.
2 years, is it?
2 years in November, yeah.
2 years.
2 years in November.
Yeah.
He's our longest serving manager in history, I think. No, he's done. When he made the phone call and said, we had to take him back, and it wasn't just for the club. It was all the players and what he built, and the together. Like I said to you before, it's togetherness. This club has been desperate for that kind of stuff for years, And
but you know what? Without throwing anybody under the bus, he's taken the job at Prescott. I don't know what. Obviously, that's a totally different argument what happened there. But Steve Daly's left because the budget's being cut. I'm assuming that there was a conversation between Chairman and Dave Dempsey, and they've said, "Listen, we're bringing Steve back." And then that's given you the opportunity then for him to return. Nobody questions the fact that he's ambitious and he wanted to manage at the higher level. He'd already done that with Clitheroe. How difficult was it for Dave himself? I'd love to ask him the question. How difficult was it for him to come back?
Dave's not shy.
No.
He's not a shy. He's not a shy person. Dempsey's. It must have been awkward to phone me because I'm not the easiest at times either, Frank. But Dave's.
I would imagine there was a few cursory words before the reappointment was made. Just a lot of people hurting at the time. I know. Yeah, well, Paul was hurt.
Paul was hurt because, as you know, Paul is Paul's a very sociable person. He's a very he likes togetherness. He likes the family feel. Paul, everything's about family and commitment. And he did feel hurt, but again, that's a football side of things where you've got to look at it and think, hang on a minute, it's if you're manager at Luton Town and you get offered the manager's job at Arsenal, you're going. You're going, and it's just ambition. It was
a very unusual period, wasn't it? It was
the worst hour and a half of our life, but it was relief as well, Frank. The relief when that we were sat in the office and me and my wife were sat there with Paul, with Neil, with Chris, and my phone started ringing and it come up. Demps. I was starting to think of a word then, but it just come up there, and I knew. Do you know when you just know something? So I said, I'm going to have to take this. So I went outside.
When did you find out, though? Did you find out after the... was it the Morecambe game? Morecambe friendly? That he left? Was it Morecambe you played?
I think it might have been. I can't remember because we were due to play LR on Saturday. Yeah. That was his first game back.
Yeah. When he left, I think he left after the Morecambe game, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. We'd had a decent result against the first team at Morecambe. And then, he told us. But, it was just because we were a week off the season as well.
I know.
It was a week off the season, and it was just... Everyone was just a bit shocked more than anything. But the way he'd been performing, and he's going to get... Listen, there's going to be calls probably made to him this season because of how he's doing. He's a superb manager. He's an absolutely brilliant manager.
Well, we talked about the standout managers off the air, didn't we? We talked about Davy Jones and what his market value is right now because of the job that he's doing at Atherton NR.
Dempsey won't leave us again.
No,
it's not allowed, Frank. It's not allowed.
Listen, I won't be arguing. Have you got it by the...
he knows. He knows he can't leave us again. And it's not just a case of ambition for Demps either. It's
ambition for the football club.
It's ambition. It's what we're going through a transition at the moment. Obviously, Paul stepped down as chairman.
Right.
So Paul's no longer chairman. He's took on presidency role to take away from the day-to-day running of the football, so we can concentrate on the infrastructure and concentrate on building the club from what we want as a football club and letting us run the club.
And who's going to take over that role?
Have you not checked County's website?
Is it already on there?
Yeah.
You've been announced?
Yeah.
Oh, right, I didn't know that.
So, it's...
when was that announced?
It hasn't yet.
Oh, it hasn't been announced?
No.
A first for the...
We've got breaking news with the Splash Sauce right
That'll be out tonight, will it?
We don't know.
No.
We don't know. It's not been a major rush. We've just been trying to get everything sorted.
Well, listen, congratulations. I had a feeling that might be the case because, you hear the stories rumour mill as it is. It's a good appointment there.
We've got a good committee behind us. Obviously, we've got Kev Duff is vice chairman. Wayne's our secretary, who, by the way, listen, he's the best secretary I've ever worked with. He is absolutely unbelievable. And we've got Zoe. We've got I don't know who else there is. And we've got James Churcher as our commercial director. So we're going in good places. But
that's some good people at the club there. James.
Yeah, James is spot on.
Yeah,
he's absolutely brilliant. It's like Zoe's unbelievable on the media.
The only trouble with that is, you see, he's an estate agent, so some supporters put 2 and 2 together and come up with 5.
Yeah.
Is the community stadium up for sale?
No, it's not. And then obviously, Kev.
Kev, good lad, yeah.
Listen, Kev's special. I've never seen anyone with the patience that Kev's got with them kids. He's absolutely unreal. Yeah. He's good to have on board as well.
Yeah, how does that translate in terms of now you've got the owner as a president, you've got you as the chairman running the football club now. One would have assumed when Paul's at the helm in terms of finances, he's helping the club financially. Does that financial input still carry?
Well, listen, Paul will.
Are you more self-financing than you would have been before?
We're going completely self-sufficient,
yeah.
Which is how, in my opinion, a football club should be run. We can't just keep relying on money from the owner and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, our owner, he's got a family as well that he's got to, and the time that he gives up to be at that ground, sometimes as a volunteer,
it's totally understated what Paul and Joe have done for that football club in terms of the hours that they've given.
The family have been.
I know Paul and I don't particularly agree with each other, or he's fallen out with me, but there's no doubt about the amount of time, effort and work they put into that club.
It's and listen, without him, we won't be where we are now.
I don't even know whether I'm allowed to mention the name Paul, because he told me off. The man formerly known as Paul. That's what I should have said before everybody said.
Paul's absolute. You know yourself. If you sit down with Paul and have a pint, he's the best person to have a pint with. But
I've no problem with Paul.
But if you try phoning him, you're not getting an answer, Frank.
No.
Text. Listen, that's just Paul. We're used to it, and this is. Why?
So what kind of ambitions have you got for the club now on the pitch? Because obviously the build of Burscough from last season into this season has been sort of fairly stratospheric, hasn't it? And you're starting a bit of a rebuild process on the pitch. You've got a handful of new players coming in. Mm-hmm. So where are you looking to go now?
What we just want to. We're not going to run before we can walk. It's got to be, things have got to be done. I'm not going to say slowly, but sensibly. Mm-hmm. We want to go as far as we possibly can in the FA Vars. Mm-hmm. I'd like to win the Macron Cup, which I'm sure every team that's in it would.
Yeah,
but listen, we haven't won a trophy for 23 years.
Is it that long?
22 years.
22 years. Yeah.
22 years. So. It'd be nice to win a trophy. And listen, a push for the playoffs this season. If we don't get the playoffs, it'll be sad, but it just gives us an extra year to build. And
do you look at the stages? Like, you look at Christmas, see at the turn of Christmas where you are, and then maybe put a little bit more money into if you're vying for a good position.
Listen, that's easier said than done, Frankie. As you know yourself, it's if we come in and someone gives us £40,000, that can go to Dave and and whatever. But is that realistic?
Yeah, I mean, what you've sort of getting now is sustainability because of the change in the hierarchy at the football club.
4 weeks before the season's over, though, if we need a goal scorer,
Well, that's what
I'm
I was
sure
going to say.
we'll be
Really.
picking pockets for £500 striker.
I was going to say that your sort of goal scoring prowess is sort of spread out a little bit. Is that an area where Dave is probably looking at strengthening? Or?
Listen, do you know what?
But it's difficult, like we've said before.
It's like rocking horse poo, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like our problem has sometimes been leaking goals up until Christmas last season.
Yeah.
We've shored up. Our defence is unbelievable now. Obviously, we had Ben at the start of the season. Ben was brilliant. And then we've got Goody in, who's...
what do you call him?
Goody.
Goody, you call
His
him
name's Goodness Gospel, Eze.
Yeah. I was going to come on that. You brought him on loan from Everton in August, and he seems to have hit the ground running.
I think he's had 5 clean sheets. Not bad for a 17-year-old.
Is he there until the end of the season on loan?
We've got him till January, and then hopefully we can. I think so. He's a good kid, and listen, we've also got Tom Peterson, we've got Lurdy. As soon as Tom Peterson gets one come off his bum cheek, the floodlights. That just needs to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's not Bootle's leading ever goal scorer for no reason, is he?
No.
And he's not old. Not yet.
No,
he's a little bit old, Frank. just not as old as us.
Just experience, isn't it?
Just looking at the overall squad, though, the overall squad looks real top quality. I mean, I've been impressed. I watched Christian Makuko last season while he was at Garswood, and I'm really, really impressed by him. I was surprised, really, that you beat us to the race, because we did try to sign him at Skem. But you obviously knew how special he was.
Listen, I've known this kid since he was 10 years old, haven't I?
He's an amazing talent.
I've adopted him, Frank, just so nobody can touch him. It's a bit of an inside joke where they call him Christian Hawks. Listen, my wife sponsors him. He's just he's a special. It's not just his ability, Frank. He's got a lot to learn in the game.
Yeah.
A lot to learn. He's raw. He's rapid. He's a handful, but he's still got a lot to learn, and he's at the right place to learn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is. He's a good kid, and that's the best thing about it. He's a good lad, a nice lad. Yeah.
So talk to me about the community ground as a kind of a hub, because we talked about the demolition of Victoria Park and kind of the outcry from the community that came from that. How's Burscough been able to kind of build bridges back with the community to get them into the community ground?
It's not been easy. The problem is it's people judge off previous, don't they? They'll always look at history and listen. Paul has tried. He does everything he possibly can for the community. He has the police there. We have the veterans hub there. We've just linked up with Man Cave, the mental health group from Southport, and all of this is it's free to the community. He doesn't charge anything. He really tries pushing things out with the community. Obviously, we've got 400 kids there, and you know what comes with 400 kids, don't you? 800 parents, and we don't charge them, the kids, to come in. They're part of Burscough Football Club, so it's not like we're trying to get money off them to come into the ground. We just want to see an atmosphere. We want the village. I've been walking around the village yesterday.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we brought you on the show, was that I picked up on the fact that you'd been around the village giving posters out ahead of the FA Vars game against Billingham Symphonia at the weekend. It's the Gates haven't sort of backed up the ambition really on what you've been doing on the field. You've been really successful at this moment in time, but the crowds are not coming in either.
No, do you know what, Frank? I watch videos of when they won the trophy and the atmosphere around that village when they come back on the coach, and do you know what? It people say it's what dreams are made of, and Burscough's getting bigger and bigger and bigger in population with the new houses, and we need to touch in. It's like me and Kev, and obviously my wife Ash, she's amazing when it comes to like contacting the schools, because she works with them. She's she's going to help, and we need to be getting this village on side, and we just want to see. We want them to see that it's a new Burscough. It's not like it was 10 years ago or when the Victoria Park was knocked down. That's not. We can't help that. We can't change
Burscough as a village has become very much a sort of cosmopolitan village, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's up and coming. Like you say, a lot of houses are being built, so you've got to tap into those people there. But Burscough itself it's a nice, friendly community. Everybody seems to love it. My daughter lives in Burscough as well. My grandchildren live there, of course. It's a really nice place to be to grow up in.
I walked around the village yesterday with my daughter-in-law. I say my daughter-in-law, it's my son's girlfriend, but she may as well be. She can't get rid of her. And I was walking around the village, and there were certain shops that I went into, and do you know when you just feel a bit like you shouldn't be there in a kind of way, and then you're trying to explain that this is new. Just give us a chance. Just listen. We're £8 to come and watch us. Your kid can come in for free. Just come down, enjoy it, and see, and just rather than
it's. The difficulty with that is you're going into a business that are operating and they're working at the time and trying to have that conversation.
Do you know what, Frank? They were brilliant. To be fair, they were brilliant. It was just, you just felt like there was a bit of needle with the name and stuff like that with certain shops. And do you know what? We do nothing wrong. We can't be blamed for anything that's happened with Victoria Park. That's the old era and what's gone on. It's not Paul. It's not me, it's not Zoe, it's not Wayne, it's not Kev. It's not all these 400 kids that we do our best for. So
you're trying to establish a relationship with people that haven't particularly warmed to Burscough in the past, and I think you must be getting there. I think probably the problem with, and you've sort of eradicated the problem to a degree because you've increased the parking side of things. I know during the bigger games against Bury, and particularly when we were ground sharing,
it was hard work.
It was hard work because a lot of people were parking on Tesco's. So people were.
Now you only get 2 hours.
For that reason,
has it gone down to 2 hours
come
now?
And park on our car park, watch a game, and you can stay there all night.
Have you sorted out the fence there so you can't see through it?
Yeah. So
because we had an ex-supporter of ours sat in his car watching the game, and I deliberately stood right in front of his car because he was really critical of me.
We'll get AMPR as well soon. It's
so what about you? That's eradicated a little bit of the tension amongst the local shops.
Do you know what, Frank? It turned out it was nice. It was nice for them to. Do you know what? Even just. I'm driving through the village today, and you can see our posters in the window, and that's a massive thing for us. And it's like we can just go and get a monthly poster of our fixtures. We've handed the leaflets out, left them in the shop, so if they get them for concession and stuff like that. And this could be it could turn out to be one of Burscough's biggest ever seasons. This, with us being in the Vars, a push for the playoffs and the Macron Cup. And
I'm just thinking of a comparison with village teams. Forest Green Rovers. Is that? I mean, I'd have to do my research on that one, but that was sort of ground in the middle of.
We look at Burscough Richmond. Well, we don't look at it, and Burscough Richmond they get some good fans there, and they're a good club. They're a good club. Burscough Richmond are a good club, and I've always had a very good relationship with Burscough Richmond, with Murto and Macca. I think it's Macca, I can't remember, I was getting mixed up. And they now train at our ground, and it's things like this where we just need to support each other, and just, Frank, our pitch is one of the best in the country. And if I was a kid playing on that, you feel like we only got to play on something not half as nice as that in a cup final when we were a kid. kids get to play on that every single week. You see, you walk down there on Sunday morning, you've got the West Lancs League there, you've got hundreds and hundreds of people there, and it's like, come down, and the more people that come, the more we can do for the community, the more we can do for the village.
Well, this is a good opportunity this weekend, isn't it? Because we look at comparisons with the FA Trophy run. Nobody gave Burscough a chance in that. They actually got to Villa Park, got to the final, and then won it 2-1. From a selling point, first round of the FA Vars, there's no reason why you can't make progress in that and go one better. I'm going to say one better. I don't know many teams that have won the FA Vars and the FA Trophy. I think.
Listen, Frank, I'll be honest, I've ordered the white suits ready for the final. I've ordered the white suits ready. The Liverpool 19, what was it, 19...
Spice Boys?
Yeah.
96,
wasn't it? Was it? I think it was, yeah. So, I'm confident, but even if something doesn't happen, it's just the future of the club. It's good. We're in a good place. We've got some amazing people at this. Frank, you know yourself. You've been around the club. They're good people, and the people that we've got Pete Hill there. We've got Dave Wallbank, and we've got Mike Gaskell. They're the people that
have stood by us. The football club. They've been there through thick and thin.
Stood by us through everything. And you know what? Mike and Pete both lost their wives, so it's
been good for them.
Listen,
quite cathartic.
My dad passed away 2 years ago, and I don't think I would have got over it. I'm not saying I'm over it. I don't mean I wouldn't have dealt with it if I wasn't so busy with this football club.
Well, we had a supporter at Stormy Corner that had lost his wife. Initially, he came in to have a pint in the social club. I talked him into going to watch the football. And he went, watched the football, and he said it's been an absolute game changer. It had been a game changer for him, and it helped him to recover because it's quite a lonely place when you lose a partner.
They are down there, they're mowing the lawn, they're trying to get the grass pitched. Pete Gaza, even Wayne and Pete Folks, the two Pete, they're absolutely, it's what you do it for. Without them type of people, we'd be lost as a club. But do you know what? Without Burscough Football Club, they'd be lost as well. They'd be lost.
Each and every person that's been involved with Burscough Football Club has helped protect the legacy. And it doesn't matter how bad a job they've presumably done. They've managed to keep things together.
Listen, there's been bad management in the past somewhere, whether that was years and years ago or what. But slipping from a trophy win to where we are now, but the conversation that we've had before, look at Morecambe, things happen, and it's just about getting it right, but we can't do it all on our own. You know yourself, you get back in Skem, and
we will talk about that.
Your fan base, I've always relished your fan base, what you used to have, stand bangers.
Stand bangers, it's a terminology that I created as well, because they were already banging the stand.
Well, we've got the wall bangers.
We've got the wall bangers.
That's what, but this is what I want them type of fans where what you had, it's because I still think you were up there with the best fans in the counties when.
Oh, listen, there's no doubt about that.
When you were at JML,
that will come again. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But listen, in terms of a selling point, I think a good run in the FA Vars will do you no harm at all. You've mentioned the facilities at the community ground and the people that you've invited over there that now use that as their home. What else can people expect to see in the future? You've got a ladies team there. That's developing rather quickly.
The ladies team they're brilliant. Honestly, they're a pleasure to have around the club. Denise, who runs them, and Keith and Amy, they're absolutely spot on, because they don't just run the ladies teams, they run the young girls teams as well. So they're absolutely amazing. Hopefully we can push them into like the FA Cup for the women, and they're a major part of our team. All our teams are just as important. Without all our junior teams, we won't be able to cope as a football club. We all need to work together, and like you say, last night we've had a 16-year-old make his debut out of one of our youth teams. and he was brilliant.
So people can see that progression as well now, and that helps in terms of the parents and the family behind them as well, because they all become supporters, don't they?
Listen, Demp's put a message out a few weeks ago when he's booked slots in to go and manage and coach do a training session with each team, and just that's what we need to do as a community is so they can see, listen, he's not Pep Guardiola going to do a training, but it's still the first team manager. If them kids don't get into the academy, they're thriving to play for Burscough first team, because like I said to you before, semi-professional football isn't far off professional football.
No, it's not far at all, is it? I mean, we look at the rise of Accrington Stanley from the North West Counties Division 2 at one stage, and they rose as high as the League One at one stage. So the dream is the dream can happen obviously on a smaller scale, maybe in the likes of Burscough being a relatively small population. What's the population up to in Burscough at the moment?
I couldn't tell you.
It used to be around about 7,000. I think it's probably increased to around
I think it's a lot more than that.
Like that now, yeah.
Listen, by playing football in non-league, you can pay a mortgage. You can, if you're playing at the right end of it, you can buy a car out of it, can't you? Get a car on finance, and this is what people need to look at. It's still a career, and they can have a career at the side of it as well.
Do you feel there's any snobbery, because we certainly do at our level, is there any snobbery attached to when you're trying to recruit players? Is there a little bit of snobbery because you're in the North West Counties and you're not in the Northern Premier League? I would imagine it happens at every level. To
be fair, no, I think we know what type of players we can attract, and
you know what your market is.
Yeah, and if, like you said before, if you look at our squad now, it's at a gold level. But don't forget, we've had players that have come up from the Cheshire League as well. So, and they've jumped up 2 leagues, and then you've got certain players that have dropped down. But you get certain players that drop down, Frank, that aren't good enough.
But you're in a good position now because you can integrate the players. You've got an established team.
Listen, if we kept this team fit all season and we kept this team together, we'll be okay. We'll be more than okay. We'll have a very, very good season. Whether we come home with a trophy or not, we'll still have a good season. But I know if we keep it all together again next season, we'll be in much better shape.
And what we do know is the community stadium is fit for purpose should you move up as well.
Yeah, it's already.
Beyond that point though, then you sort of get onto the National League North. You've got to improve the facilities as well. You've sort of got all of this in there.
I haven't thought about the National League North yet. Listen, I'm not thinking past the Macron Cup this season.
Running before walking.
And Wembley.
but it's always good to have a 5-year plan.
Of course it is.
I'm assuming people can access the funding streams that you need.
Yeah, and we've got some good people around us. Listen, I've been at this club a long time, and there's been 3-year plans for so many years. But do you know what? When Paul's took over, plans have happened. Plans have happened, and listen, people don't see. Some people don't see what he does behind closed doors, and you just have to have a look. I don't forget, I walked onto that pitch when it was first getting rolled, and there was nothing there. And then you walk into that ground now. You walk out. You've been on the balcony yourself.
When I took over as chairman 2.5 years ago at Skelmersdale, I first went down there. It was a shell, it was a carcass there. The improvements that have been made are phenomenal.
It's brilliant. And then we've obviously got our little hospitality suite just pitch side, which is now our little hub that we go in there for half time, and it's nice because you pitch side. It's just a nice place to be, and
I'll probably get a load of stick for highlighting Burscough's prosperity, but I've told everybody this before, I have a soft spot for Burscough as well, always have.
AJ hasn't.
AJ hasn't.
I've listened to podcasts, don't worry.
Don't
worry about that.
Okay.
He knows exactly what he said. A bit nervous.
I'm not nervous at all.
I'm hoping he changes his mind about us now.
I think it's good to have a little bit of.
Of course there is.
A healthy rivalry.
Rather than
pot-shotting from a microphone.
Skelmersdale's always the first fixture that we always look for in the season.
Yeah. listen, unfortunately...
We haven't got that for 2 years now, have we, friend?
No, well, hopefully... listen, we'll talk about that in the third part of the show. But so how far can Burscough go? Do you think the playoffs is a realistic target this season?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I'm confident about the playoffs. If we finish top 8, again, it's another improvement from the year before and the year before that. So it's an improvement every year. So, but yeah, I think the playoffs is a possibility. Yeah.
Listen, I know you've got your white suit prepared for the final in the FA Vars, but I'm going to look ahead. You've got the Isle of Man away on Saturday, the 8th of November.
Not if we win. Not if we win on Saturday. We haven't.
Oh right, okay.
That's when the next round is.
Oh right, I didn't know that. But listen, you will be playing them at some point.
Yes.
At their place. Have you dusted off your passport and planned a long weekend away with the missus, or will you be going with the players and the management staff?
I will have to pick my soul up, because that's the last time I drunk, Frank, 2 years ago at the Isle of Man, and I left my soul there.
How heavy was this night?
It was one of the most indifferent experiences in my life.
Yeah, people say they always kind of carry a bit of a different experience going over to the Isle of Man than they do any other away day.
That was the last time I was drunk.
Oh right,
that was 2 years ago.
But I had to fly home and then cook all my dog's meat for 3 weeks, because we were going to Egypt the day after. Wasn't a pleasant fly home. No.
So listen, I recall this one because I think it's been mentioned in folklore, isn't it, about the some of the Burscough people getting well oiled over there.
It's a party.
Yeah.
It's a party.
So you will be going.
I'll go, but my wife will be going with me. Listen,
to keep it in check.
No, it's not so much keep me in check. She wants to do it. She's part of us. She's brilliant. She wears the pants. Believe it or not. If she says no, it's no.
Listen, Gordon and I, we went for a long weekend. We took our wives. So we went on the Friday. We flew, not Ryanair, it wasn't Ryanair, what was it? EasyJet, while everybody else travelled on the Saturday on the twin propeller aeroplanes.
God.
Well, try being sat next to Dave Dempsey on it, and your propeller was on the other side. Wasn't the most comfiest flight going.
Is Dave not a good flyer?
We were just both very big at the time, Frank.
It's not. You're not expecting extra shoulder width.
No, right. Was it that bad for space on there?
I'm not a good flyer either, Frank.
No,
I don't like
me
flying.
neither.
So what are you going to do? You're going to fly over there?
Yeah, I'll fly again, yeah. It's only 20 minutes, and by the time you go up, you're coming down, aren't you?
In effect.
Yeah. Hopefully on 3 wheels.
To be fair, though,
4 wheels.
I hope we win on Saturday, and I hope it's off and it gets put back for a while.
That sounds good.
Just to give me more time to prepare for it.
Listen, that's a great insight to what you're doing at Burscough. Listen, we'll leave this part of the show after the commercial break. We'll look at part 3 and we'll get your expert analysis on predictions and everything else that we normally do in the third part of the show. So for now, don't go away. We'll be back soon. A heartfelt shout out to all the businesses supporting Skelmersdale United Football Club, especially T&W Garners and Pedro de Seda Enterprises. Thank you to everyone who donates to the club, supports our race nights, raffles, lottery bonus ball scheme and the weekly draw in conjunction with NYCBA. A special thanks to those who organise such fundraising events, with a particular mention for the incredible Lee Davis and Rowena Hughes. To everyone who stands by us both on and off the pitch, we are truly grateful. If you wish to sponsor the show, please contact me at chairman.skemutdfc@gmail.com or alternatively call me on 077 66 054 548. All proceeds will go to Skelmersdale United Football Club. Thank you for your unwavering support. Hello and welcome to the third and final part of the Speaking Frankly football show, and still with us is Jay Hawkes, of course. Listen, we're going to talk about Skelmersdale United Football Club before we go through our final predictions in the North West Counties and the FA far as if I can find my fixture list. But yeah, listen, we after a really successful weekend for Skelmersdale United Football Club, we had the race night on Friday, which raised over £1,500. Which is great. You know that pays for 3 rental fees.
That plays for 3 matches.
Three matches at Marine.
That's fine.
So it's really good. Then Saturday, it could have been a really flat week. Yeah,
genuinely.
That's what we were paying at Burscough as well.
Any spots? Any spots? Only joking.
Yeah, but listen, it's a fabulous place to play. It's in terms of that, it's the going rate, and it's probably well worth the price. So we managed to, on top of that, could have been a really flat weekend, but on the Saturday we managed to play FC Kirby at their place, and we managed to get, it was in the Liverpool County Cup.
Liverpool County Cup.
They all sort of passed me by. There's that many cups,
do.
isn't there? But we managed to draw 2-2, and we won on penalties.
Yes, we did.
At the end.
Yeah.
Basically, we brought a new keeper to the football club.
David, 2.
Bobchek.
A.K.A. Bobcat.
Yeah. And he was in goal for that game. It made a little bit of a sort of rocky start to the game.
He was his debut. What are you going to say?
He'd not played much football. Competitive football.
It's hard for a keeper, isn't it? If they make a mistake, it's a goal. If the striker makes a mistake, it goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
He's an absolute unit. So when it actually came to the penalty... Well, let's talk about the game itself. Yeah. We went 1 down. We got back to 1-1.
Yep. We went 2-1 down.
Well, let's talk about who scored the first goal first. Who scored the first goal?
Michael Ledbetter.
Michael Ledbetter scored the first goal.
It was an excellent goal as well. It was a long ball in from the left wing. Ellis Daverins cushioned it down from the edge of the box. And Ledbetter's hit it first time from 20 yards right into the bottom corner. Keeper didn't even move. Barney has talked about how he's been working with Mikey Ledbetter to work on his finishing. That was a pure example of Barney's and Mikey's work in action there.
The impression that they've left on him.
Is it Kev's?
It is. It's Kev's nephew.
I think the nephew, cousin, something like that,
I think it is his nephew,
I mean, listen, I don't know what Kevin Ledbetter be worth in this day and age, but what a player he is.
Listen, if Kevin Ledbetter was that age again, he won't be with us, will he? He won't be at this level. He was a good player.
I mean, he had his opportunities, didn't he? Didn't quite manage to get, he
didn't
as far as the National League Premier Division Conference, as I call it.
He was at Fleetwood, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was still.
He was definitely knocking on the door. So listen, we were drawing 1-1 at half time.
We were.
Second half, they managed to get their
noses in front after about an hour or so.
And we have to say that the goals that we conceded were mistakes.
There were mistakes. There were goals on any other day would have been entirely preventable. It'll be something that Andy and Barney will be working along with the defences to try and kind of shore it up, because both of those goals shouldn't really have happened if you're thinking about it. Maybe even being super critical here, but I think if I was Barney, I'd probably be disappointed with the manner of both of those goals.
But they kept on having a go, didn't they? And eventually they were rewarded. Harvey Biggs' shot is finished off by... Diverted in by Leighton Rimmer. I'm pretty sure he knew everything that he was doing.
100%. He knew exactly how to cushion that ball at speed and where it was going.
But Leighton Rimmer has been a bit of a revelation since he signed for Skem.
Very much so, he's a calming presence at the back. He's not particularly loud, but he does...
Did you sign him from Garswood?
We signed.
He went to Garswood, but I don't think he actually played for them.
No, I think I seen him play one game in pre-season, I think.
And then we
listen, he's a decent young player.
He played for us last season.
He's
19. Played for us last season at North West Counties level. He's shown he'd had
alongside Harry Middlehurst. We had a good sort of a good two centre halves at the football club.
Good prospects.
Be good to have Harry Middlehurst at this level, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because another one with a growing reputation, but he's struggling with obviously
a difficult circumstance
and not playing particularly well. So they're shipping a lot of goals. That doesn't always look good for the centre half.
No, it'll never.
But he's getting that experience at the higher level, which
certainly is.
One level higher than what he was last season with us.
Yeah.
So listen, Leighton Rimmers scored the equaliser
goal.
I think we've had a couple of crossbars.
Yeah, Ray Bury hit the crossbar in the first half and Reece Carrington hit it in the second half. So we definitely come closer on paper and in chances.
And arguably, you'd say we were the better team.
I think we'd on the balance of it, we were the better team. We had to ride our luck a little bit after we went down to 10 men with about 5-6 minutes to go. It was
well, that makes the victory even better, doesn't it?
I think it's a bit more fairy tale, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit more fairy tale. So we get to the penalties.
There's no extra time in the cup competitions.
We're talking to Duan McKennan, the captain who got sent off.
Yeah.
He's on the side with us talking.
Did you go down to 10 men?
We did.
Yeah, we went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
So the first thing he said was, this man is going to save 2 penalties. So what does he do, David? He
saves his first 2 penalties.
Saves the first 2 penalties.
Yep.
Unfortunately, who was the one that didn't quite?
Tom Rodriguez.
And he was absolutely gutted. It's the first penalty he's ever missed in his entire footballing career.
What I will say in his defence, and to kind of balance it out on that game, was that with 2 minutes to go, he cleared a shot off the line for us.
Yeah, so he kept us in the game.
So he did. He kept us in the game. Without him, we wouldn't have been in that stage of penalty shootout anyway. So he was allowed to miss that one, where Ray, Harvey, and Joe, and then with a winning spot kick, Leighton was successful.
Well, a fairy tale finish, really, because the man that gets us back into the game and gets us into the penalties, he actually gets to take the penalty that takes us through to the third round of the Liverpool Cup.
Yes.
Has the draw been made yet?
No, you keep asking the question, me, and I've not heard of it yet. No. Some good teams in that.
Is it the same one Gars will do it?
I think they're all in it because Clay Brow were in it. Clay Brow got knocked out of it. Just imagine playing them in the...
That would have been riotous.
In the next round. But, so it rounded off a really good weekend because it could have been a little bit flat after the race night. Yeah, and I have to say, the race night, it wasn't... We've done race nights in the past, but I went to the one at Burscough a couple of seasons ago with you, and it was a really good night.
Did you have the same fella do it?
Who did you have?
We've got Fitzy. Did you use tall with glasses?
No. Fitzy's Skem lad. We've used him last couple of occasions.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
It wasn't the same person.
Wasn't it? Did you? I thought you used him for one race night after we had him. Because didn't I send you his number?
I think you might have done.
Yeah.
I don't think that's...
They're good, aren't they, race nights?
Yeah, they're great little together.
They're so underrated. It's unbelievable and so enjoyable.
Oh yeah, we've raised some really good money out of it.
And it's easy to make money as well. If it's busy, it's easy to make money.
And seeing pigs race... I mean, what's fairer than seeing pigs race?
It wasn't horses.
We had one.
You have one novelty one. I think you had one novelty.
I can't remember.
It might have been... Sometimes you'd have dogs. I think you might have had dogs.
Possibly.
But we had pigs. What was the...
last year?
Yeah, we had an option between rabbits and pigs. It was over really quickly.
Yeah. We chose rabbits last year.
Pigs, that was it, Frank?
I've never seen a pig run so fast. but they did. But listen, it made an awful lot of money for us. And thanks to everybody that supported that night.
100%. Thank you also to Fitzy for coming out and doing it for us as well.
Thanks to Dawn Phelan, Kevin Phelan, Rowena,
Newborough Sports
Elizabeth,
Club.
Newborough Sports Club. Too many people to mention. Tracy, a lot of people that helped on the night and helped decorate the venue itself. It was really good. You've seen the pictures.
Certainly have.
The one thing that we do excel in is our hospitality. We try to be the best we can.
Arguably top of the league in hospitality.
So we really enjoyed that.
We've got a good chef as well.
An excellent chef.
And we enjoyed the victory, of course. But then, listen, we move ahead because the next 2 games, and particularly Saturdays to start off with,
enormous.
We've got Granby Toxteth on.
Athletic.
And listen, in times gone by, we wouldn't have even give these clubs a second thought, but now we realise how good they are.
That's the arrogance of times gone by, really.
Bit of a shock to the system.
Very much so. And we've had a a rude awakening to the Liverpool.
Well, we never
County
took it for
Premier
granted.
League.
We always knew it was going to be difficult.
Well, yeah, we knew it was going to be difficult. I don't think we estimated just how difficult. And I think we've given a lot of these teams, the recognition that they deserve now for being sort of well suited, well drilled.
You've got to remember though, you're everyone's cup final
because of the name.
Well, Tommy Lawson said the same thing when we embarked on this journey in the Liverpool County Premier. That's the first thing he said, and of course. The big stage is playing at Marine because most of the places that we're playing on are community hubs, and they're not community hubs like Burscough's because Burscough's is a real good
like JMOs and stuff like that.
They are.
So very difficult. A lot of them sometimes like fields in the middle of nowhere.
They really were. Yeah, we've played on colleges. We played in playing fields with like little, changing rooms, sort of with boxes. Yeah,
and grounds where they've only got one side. The likes of what's the place that we went to?
John Bosco.
John Bosco.
As soon as you said one side, nice
setup, but you can't.
Brack's the same. You've only got sports centre, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we've talked about that because we don't know how they're going to sustain their growth based on
how often they're sharing.
Yeah, and it's not in the greatest condition. It's
dark.
I
find it dark at night.
It's really, really dark, isn't it? So they've got
It's already been given an extension to improve the facilities before.
They'll do it.
I think so. With the finances they've got.
Yeah, they're doing really well, and they've got games in hand on Berry.
Yes, they do. 2, I think. Yeah,
2 or 3 games.
They're both doing well. Both teams that come up for counties first and second, aren't they?
No, Bury are first. I think Lower Brack are 4, maybe 5th. Just purely by virtue of not having played this weekend. They're very good team.
Yeah.
Some excellent players in there. A successful weekend.
We've got
the Grenadier.
The Grenadier, who
top of the
are
table,
running away at the top of the league.
6 wins from 6. Yeah, nobody's even close at the minute, unfortunately.
You just got to get in the top 5, haven't you?
We do.
Yeah, but I think we put too much pressure initially. I've said this before. When my first season at ground sharing at Burscough, when I took over as chairman, I was more concerned about making sure that we stayed in the Premier Division, and what I should have looked at, bringing a new manager in there, not making the cardinal sin of sacking him so soon as well.
Who, Matt?
Yeah.
And he knows.
You've told me this in the past. You've said
he's openly admitted this one. Yeah.
I've told anybody that will listen that sacking Matt so soon was a mistake. I got a little fair bit of. I don't normally succumb to pressure, but I did with Pascal Chimbonda, because by the time he'd given up harassing Gordon Johnson gave him my number and he started harassing me, and it just didn't work. But I think if you're looking more long term and having a 2 or 3 year plan, I'd have said, well, okay, Matt Potter stays for the duration of the season, and what he will do is he'll establish a squad that's good enough to compete in the North West Counties Northern Division. Yeah. But that said, I think the difficulty with that kind of idea is that it doesn't always work that way either, because as soon as you get promoted,
I think if you had Pascal from the start, I don't think you would have gone down though, because of the players that you had.
We've said that as well.
Not because I'm not saying Pascal, but him. Well, yeah, because he brings the players in, doesn't he?
He did,
I think we'd have been bankrupt though, because I think during this period we generated £2,500 worth of fines for a football club.
Did he not pay them?
No, because he came to the club for free. I mean, I'm not saying you can't say he did us a favour. His profile really should have took the club up to another level. Yeah. It didn't actually work out that way for numerous reasons that I really don't want to mention. But you're right, because we've said it before. There was a lot of players there that were good enough.
Yassin, didn't you? When you had
Nelson,
whatever you want to call him on the day, Andy Kanga, Manjobi. We won't say too much. So. Or did he get the name wrong, Frank?
Yeah,
or did you?
But we still beat you.
Yeah. We won the rematch.
We drew the rematch.
No, we didn't. We won.
No, we drew.
I bet you attacked.
No, you won the last game after that. But we. So you won the.
I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to check that.
Yeah, we won the. We won the initial match we drew the replay. We definitely did. It was the match after that, and I can't remember whether, because obviously we're both home and away, but it was the next game you beat us then.
We were 2-0 up in one of them, weren't we? And you got it back to 2-2.
Yeah. Well, you got the bragging rights in the end.
Yeah, we did, yeah. We stayed up.
Yeah.
You deserve that, AJ. You deserve that.
Anyway, moving on. Anyway, yeah, listen, we know what we've got.
Yeah.
The better.
You stop picking on us now, won't you?
Truce.
He's got his own back there.
Yeah,
but listen, we've touched on Skem and how difficult it is for us.
We have, but we've on the Monday night we hosted a Meet the Club as well.
Yeah.
We had, down at the Busy Bee in Skelmersdale. That was an open forum for fans to come down and discuss their concerns, if any, to the club at large. Frank was there, Andy was there, the whole committee was there, and a few of the players as well. We did have a few concerns addressed to us, and Frank was able to respond, and we feel like of the supporters that were there, we managed to get the majority of them on side with our way of thinking and our directive, and
we don't want everybody to agree with us, because that wouldn't be right. But in terms of factual content, everything that was said was honest. The only disappointment really was that some of the keyboard warriors that have been most vocal, they didn't turn up as you would expect, but that gave them an opportunity to have their say. They obviously chose not to come along, but I've said it, and I said it at the meeting, they'd be welcomed back with open arms. Well, they will, because listen, that's life. We're open armed, we're honest, we're happy to. Listen, we want to change the narrative, and the only way to change that narrative is to open those. Listen, if they come back to the football club, we have changed the narrative and we've been successful. If we don't, then we won't see them ever again anyway.
That's fine.
So it won't really matter.
Both trying to do the same thing, really, aren't we?
Build bridges with the community.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a different position to us in terms of the steps, but the same issues trying to rebuild. It's very difficult to rebuild, and that was the problem. People were saying, "Why aren't you back in Skem? Why don't you go back to the GMO?" Well, first of all, it has to be on the cards. Second of all, we wanted to get promoted back to the Northwest Counties. We have to be in a ground that's graded for that. And we are in a contract, so if we'd have left that contract, we would be liable to the costs of it as well.
As well as breaking a good relationship with a really good team.
Listen, we didn't want to do that anyway, and that's the position that we're older.
We like our landlords.
Yeah, we like our.
You always have done, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to believe we had. Well, no, we had really good relations with. By and large, we had really good relations with Burscough. I think sometimes there was the odd one or two committee men or supporters that would rejoice in us losing. But listen, I think we all do that on occasions. But
I don't think anyone wanted you to lose, Frank. I just don't think they wanted you to win.
It's a good way of putting it.
A point's always good, isn't it?
But I'm genuinely, I'm one of them Evertonians that if Everton are not playing Liverpool, I want Liverpool to win. Genuinely mean that, and I'm the same with Burscough, yeah. And I'm not two-faced. You're looking at me there with concern.
You just said two of the baddest things in one sentence.
Oh God, it's like you wanting Burnley to win if you were a proper impassioned Rovers fan.
No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I love football, you see, and if football's played in the right manner, I like to watch good, exciting, free-flowing football. I think that you're getting that at Burscough right at this moment in time.
We are at the moment, and it's good. It is good, but we've got to keep it up.
We've just got to keep that. That's the momentum.
Keep it going, but you're in a good position at the moment. Skem, we've already mentioned that we've over the next couple of days we should be revealing our new primary sponsor
and our kit.
On our front of kit and our new kit as well. That'll be getting exposure as well. We did a little bit of modelling on Monday night. Oh, we didn't.
No.
You wanted to?
I did. I wasn't allowed. So I'm not a playing member.
So we got two keepers.
It's fine. I'm not upset.
And two players.
Three players.
3 players. Oh yeah, in the end,
home away and training kit.
Leddy came and he did the tracksuit, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So listen, off the field, everything's gone.
It is. It's literally just...
To get it right on the field, you've got to have it off.
Yeah.
Right off
Definitely.
the field first.
I feel like we're about 85-90% there. It's just that last 10% which is on the pitch.
Yeah. You always knew up until Christmas was going to be difficult for you, didn't you? No matter who's in charge, Christmas was... It's a rebuild. You can't just rebuild it pre-season like that. Yeah. Nobody can.
No.
Well, that's why I go back to what I said with Matt, really, is that you have to look a little bit further ahead. I don't think that we would have been in the position we are now if Matt Potter had been in charge. And that's no disrespect to the managers that came in. It was just having that level of consistency. I still believe that had Tommy secured the players that we had last season, we'd be very competitive. We'd be in the top 5 without a shadow of a doubt.
I think we're right.
There's no doubt about it, because those players have had a season in North West Counties. They were gelling.
But the problem you've got, Frank, is, and this is the problem that I had at Garswood as well, them players are never going to stay at step 7, are they?
No,
they're never going to stay at step 7. They'd go and sit on the bench and earn 20 quid.
Exactly.
Then play 90 minutes for free. Because like when you're growing up, academy football is the be all and end all for kids, for parents. Now it's even for parents of younger players. It's North West Counties. It's North West Counties. They want to be in counties if they can.
Yeah, minimum.
It's like the adults academy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only problem I have with that, and I've said it before, and I'm like a broken record, is that there's an awful lot of players that will sit on the benches at the higher clubs without actually getting any adult football. And then you throw into the equation that we've lost one player now because he's decided that he can't recover in time to go and play for his academy or Sunday league. That's a backward step. There's players particularly that have got talent, and we're talking about a 16-year-old that has evidently got a great deal of talent. He's going back to playing kids football. He should be playing adult football week in, week out. And if he's going to get noticed, that's where he's not going to get noticed in the academy. No. And at the end of those academy years, there's no progression.
There's no forward step, is there?
They can fool you into saying there's progression, but there isn't unless somebody's monitoring. But listen, enough said about that. I think we'll move on to the predictions
for the analysis.
Listen, tonight we are recording, and probably the results have come in now because we've been recording that long. But Litherland Remica played Chadderton tonight. As we know, the show comes out tomorrow, but we're recording on the Wednesday night.
Where are they here?
The predictions are is that there?
That's the scores, that, isn't it?
There's that much paper.
That's the one.
That's the one there,
There we go.
So looking at that, I see Chadderton winning that all day long. So
yeah, I think you're probably right there.
I think 3-1.
To Chadderton?
Yeah.
Oh, you give them the score as well.
Oh, do you not do the score?
No,
you don't have to do the score.
Yeah.
So South Liverpool.
This is where you fall asleep when you listen to the podcast now, isn't it?
South Liverpool versus Exton.
2-1 Exton.
You know what I'd have said? I'd have said Exton Villa were going to have a fairly decent season this.
They are.
But they struggled a little bit. But
they're in 18th, but I don't think their position belies their form.
They've got a few games in hand, haven't they?
13.
I'll go for
I'll
go for Exton as well.
One or two, yeah. Oh yeah, I'd have 7 away win there as well.
First Division North, Bacup Borough versus Cole.
The East Lancs derby. I'm going to do a draw as well.
If the truth be known, there's a little bit of money at Cole.
I think they've withdrawn a bit of money by the sounds of it.
All right.
That's why they are where they are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, listen, that could be a draw, that then, couldn't it? Do you reckon
I think it's a draw. Yeah,
I'm still going for Cone.
All right.
Right, so the FA Bars, which Burscough got a big interest in, but we'll look at the teams before that. Ashton Town versus Darwin.
I think 3-1 to Ashton.
This is bizarre. I'm really stuck on this one because these two teams have not exactly demonstrated the most reliable consistency across the entire season. I'm minded to say Ashton Town, but only just, so I will say home win that.
I'm going for Darwin. Barnoldswick Town versus AFC Liverpool.
3-1 to AFC Liverpool.
Whoa, okay.
I'm going for AFC because they're doing really well in the Cups.
All right, I'll say an away win there too.
Burscough versus Birmingham Symphonia.
An away win.
Symphonia.
3-0.
I'm going to say 3-0 to us.
Yeah, I'm going to say home win there.
I'm going for Burscough, definitely there. But I want Burscough to win.
Thank you.
I keep telling the story about watching them when they progressed through the first round of the FA Cup, when they played Gillingham and they beat them in the last minute or injury time.
It's 20 years. It's 20 years. It's the... Is it 20
2005?
years? Yeah, it's 20 years.
And Matthew Boswell was in...
On the 5th of November.
In goal, 5th of November.
Yeah.
Bonfire night, The fireworks definitely went off in Burscough that night. It was really, really cold and rainy, I think, as well. Eccleshill versus Chadderton.
I'm Chadderton.
I'm going to go to Chadderton.
2-0 Chadderton.
Exton Villa versus Carlisle City. Without knowing an awful lot about Carlisle City,
no.
I'd still say Exton just about win that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go away win.
Right, Horbury Town versus Charnock Richard.
Don't know anything about Horbury Town. So.
Charnock Richard are the cup team, aren't they?
They are a proper cup team.
Yeah. Well,
what cup
bear
did
in
they
mind.
win last season? What cup was it?
They won the Macron.
The Macron.
I think they've won it the last 2 years, I think.
Whoa!
I think so.
They're made for the knockout tournaments,
Not this
aren't
year.
they? Yeah.
If you consider every team that's in the Premier Division in the Northwest Counties are on a par with any team that they draw.
Yeah.
At least because they're all step 6.
Yeah.
Step 5 and step 6.
Yeah.
So, Earlham versus Shildon?
Yeah, that's Earlham. I think that their home record is just jokes, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
They're proper
That
home
Daniel's
team.
dangerous, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Nelson versus Harrogate Railway Athletic. I'm going for Nelson.
Yeah, I want to say Nelson too. I think that momentum. Oh, all right. I think that momentum's just keeping them up.
No.
All right.
You're going for Harrogate?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Northampton.
Northallerton versus South Liverpool. I'm going to go for Northallerton.
I'm going to go Northallerton too.
Me too.
Yeah. Penistone Church versus Droylsden.
I'm going to go Penistone Church.
Yeah, well, listen, given Droylsden's current form, I wouldn't be surprised.
Against the counties team.
Dear.
Yeah. I'm going for Droylsden.
I'm going to go Penistone.
Prestwich Hayes versus Maltby Main. Prestwich Hayes are doing relatively well, so I'm going to go with Prestwich Hayes.
Yeah,
bit of a reformed team can.
Hutchinson's the manager. He's
Prestwich Hayes.
Yeah, he's built the squad of a young team last season. Because don't forget, you come in halfway through the season. They were relegated.
They were down.
They were down, and then he pulled them out of it, didn't he? And then he's done well. And to be honest, we played them, and the wide players were phenomenal for them. They were fast.
Who's playing for them, or is he playing for them? Luke Barron at
Luke Barron's at Prestwich.
What's he looking like these days?
Centre half.
No, he played wing for us.
He did play against us. I can't remember. No, it wasn't.
He played.
Player.
I think he wore the number 11 shirt when he was playing.
Good player
at the weekend, but you're a really good player. So you've gone for Prestwich Hayes there, yeah?
Yeah.
Ramsbottom United versus.
I've gone
Rami.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. Runcorn Town versus Fulwood Amateurs.
You've got to look at Runcorn Town for that one. 100%.
Yeah. What do you reckon? You going the same, Jay?
Yeah, I've gone Runcorn 2-1.
Stafford Town versus Nuneaton Town. I don't know. Stafford not having the kind of season they expected them to have.
But they had 3 cup finals last season.
I
feel like that counts for something.
Win a cup game, don't they?
Then they're a bit of a Charnock Richard in that respect.
I've put Nuneaton Town.
I was going to go Nuneaton Town now, but now that he's reminded me how good they are in the cups, I am going for Stafford Town. Wythenshawe versus Holker Old Boys.
That's a great tie.
I think
Wythenshawe.
I think Wythenshawe, just based on a league above, I think you've got to go for Wythenshawe.
As well as the however long the journey is from sort of Cumbria area down to South Manchester. It's a bit of a mooch, as we'd say.
Edward Chase Cup first round, South Asheville versus Wolverhampton Casuals.
I've gone Asheville.
Asheville, yeah. So, listen, we get to the nitty-gritty of the Premier Division. There's a few games on. Atherton LR versus West Disbury and Chiltern. This is not a game you want when your current form has just escaped you.
I think Atherton will turn it round in that game.
Well, I think they will, because they did at key stages last season, didn't they? They know when to turn it back on.
I hope they do.
Yeah, I do as well, because we love David Jones.
Yeah, I'll say Atherton LR.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult game for them.
It will be, yeah.
But I think given the home advantage, that might
West
help.
is starting to hit their stride a little bit now, aren't they? Last
few
games they've done
good.
really well.
I think if that was reversed, that fixture under a big crowd, I think it might be swayed more towards West Didsbury.
I don't know. I don't think Everton will lose.
No.
Fall on the trot.
Well, we certainly hope they won't. Longridge versus Glossop North End now.
I've gone with Longridge. I
have to say,
I don't want to.
The current form would say that Longridge are going to win that all day long.
Yes.
But I'm going to, purely out of respect for Richard Brodie, more in hope that Glossop are going to turn their season around a little bit at some stage, and I'm going to go for Glossop. Pilks versus City of Liverpool.
It's Padiham versus Lithen Remica.
Padiham versus Remy.
Oh, so I missed that. I guess it was all in the same. Yeah. Oh, Padiham versus Litherland. Yeah.
That's a home win, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've put 5-4.
5-4.
5-1.
Oh, 5-1.
Yeah.
5-1.
I think what's more outrageous about that is the fact that he thinks that Padiham are going to concede.
I made a more outrageous prediction, didn't I? And said that they're going to go into double figures. And since then, my good friend Neil Middlehurst has not spoken to me since. Obviously, because I don't think he has deliberately. I'm still in contact with him, but you just can't see the shipping goals left, right, and centre, don't they? An average of
3 a game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's quite.
I'd like to see how they're getting on tonight.
Pardon?
Remy versus Chatterton. Yeah.
Listen, you can have a nose at that while we're going through.
I've put 3-1.
Have you? You already know the result.
No, I've just got a feeling I wish I put it 4-1 now.
Yeah. So who are we going with, Pilks?
I put draw.
A draw. Do you reckon Pilks City of Liverpool?
Home win.
You know what? I think I'm going to go along with Jay. I'm going for a draw.
Well, all right then.
Sorry, I have control there. Oh no, have I gone? Pilks, yes, City of Liverpool. Stockport Town versus Abbey Hay.
Stockport Town,
yeah, I'll go along with that. FC Isle of Man versus FC St Helens. I think FC Isle of Man are getting the
act together.
They're getting their act together, yeah. Very swollen. You don't think so?
I just. Do you know what? I look at it in 2 different ways with the Isle of Man. They've got the whole of the catchment area. What's got?
Remy Chaddy, it's 1-1 at the minute.
How long's left?
About 15 minutes.
Yeah, about 10-15 minutes to go. So still time, but
you're not going to get your 5-1.
Remy are holding it.
5-1. No, I put 3-1.
3-1.
Put 3-1.
But I'd take a draw. I'd take a draw.
I mean, Lewis Burns still has plenty of time, man.
So good for Burscough.
Oh God, of course he is there.
Yeah, Isle of Man. It's a funny one because they're the only team on the island, so they've got a good catchment area. But how much quality is on the island?
I think a lot of it is down to good coaching as well. I don't know. We had the last manager on, didn't we? Paul Jones. He felt as though they were turning the corner.
He's a nice fellow, Paul.
He's a cracking bloke. He felt as though they were turning the corner just before. There's signs that they are turning the corner.
Yeah,
and I just think FC St Helens are not always doing particularly well at the moment. So I'm going FC Isle of Man.
I'm going to say an away win for FC St Helens. I don't think it's going to be as quite an easy result for them. I think it'll maybe only be 1-0, 2-0, something like that.
So, listen, moving on to First Division North in the North West Counties, Bacup Borough versus Woolton. I'm going for MSB Woolton.
The Brian Boys Westview Stadium. Always one of my favourite stadium names to run out just because of the ludicrousness.
The next one's even worse.
Oh, tell me about it.
With the Westlife Stadium. So, listen, Daisy Hill versus Main Road.
I've put Main Road. I think it'll be comfortable.
Yeah, bearing in mind what you told me about them having 2 players sent off in their
for
last
Darwin,
game.
It was a bit of a gimme, wasn't it? So I'll say a Main Road win.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. Now a bit of a derby there, Garstang versus Thornton Cleveland.
It's a Fylde Coast derby, that.
Thornton.
Yeah, I think Thornton Cleveland too. Yeah,
they're doing a good job. McGull versus Steeton.
The early pace setters.
I think Steeton are going to win this.
No,
one.
I don't. No.
I think they will. I think they were the 2 pace setters.
Steeton top of the league.
They were at one point. Steeton and McGull were first and second once upon a time. They've now McGull are 4th and Steeton are 9th.
The problem with Steeton is they're not scoring enough goals. They're not conceding many. But McGull are. McGull have conceded twice as many goals. So that's why I'm going for.
Still think McGull.
Yeah, I'm going for Steeton.
I'm going to take a photo of this before I go, you know.
No, take it with you.
Take it with you.
No, because I'm going to leave it here for you to frame when you go.
Oh, right, so we're going to mark your homework. We're marking your homework, yeah, fine.
Okay, fair enough. Squaresgate versus Ashton Athletic.
Squaresgate.
I'm going to go draw.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Squaresgate.
Yeah, neither of the teams are having, particularly inspiring seasons, but I do think it'll be quite an entertaining draw.
First Division South Camelard versus All Scott Heath.
I've just gone All Scott Heath. I don't. It's not out of the top
Not a
three.
division that we try to focus on it as much as we can.
10th and Camelard are 16th.
Yeah, I've gone
All Scott Heath. Yeah, so
yeah. Cheadle Heath and Nomads versus Eccleshall.
that's Eccleshall.
Who are we going for?
I'm going Eccleshall, me.
Yeah, I'll go along with that, yeah. Foley Mere versus Stockport Georgians. Stockport Georgians, second in the league. It's got to be Stockport, isn't it?
Foley Mere 13th.
But we do know Foley Mere can throw up the odd upset. So, Hormond, and listen, we've only learned how to say that in recent weeks because we didn't know
match
there was
unbeaten run.
Huff or haw.
How?
We've gone with the haw. I mean, there's not many times in life you can get away with saying that.
Frank, this is a family show.
But listen, who are we going for there?
We're going for Hormond. Wolverhampton Sporting Community, just a bit of drift.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Sandbach United versus Barnton.
See, that's a great result. I'm saying Sandbach, me.
I'm going for a draw. Telford Town versus Market Drayton. Hate to say it. I'm
sorry, Dan. We really wish, but head rules heart at this rate.
Yeah, I'm going for Telford.
Yeah. Now the FA Vars first round on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah. West Allotment Celtic versus Cheadle Town. Always difficult to go up that neck of the woods.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
There was investment there. We never really followed that up, did we?
West Allotment Celtic.
Yeah, they nearly went out of business, didn't we? Didn't we have the
vice chair on the show?
I can't remember if it was vice chair or the chairman. We had somebody on the show.
Was he going to do a fly on the wall documentary as well?
Yeah, and I've not seen that.
I've not seen anything to that. Maybe they're still editing it. Cheadle.
I'm going for West Allotment Celtic.
I'm going for Cheadle Town because they've just signed Nick Heppel and he scored.
Have they?
I rate Nick Heppel.
Yeah. I've just gone for Cheadle myself.
Yeah. Yarm versus
Yarm and
Eagles Cliff versus Cone.
It sounds like a bunch of lawyers.
I'm going for a guess here. I'm going Cone.
I've gone the other way.
Right. Fair enough. So Monday, the 20th of October, we return to the Premier Division. Stockport Town versus City of Liverpool. I'm going for Stockport Town.
I'm going for Stockport Town.
Me too.
Yep. First Division South, same time, Monday. Cheadle Heath Nomads versus New Mills.
Yeah.
Is that the Bagley brothers, the managers?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go for New Mills. Premier Division Tuesday, the 21st of October. Abbey Hay versus Prestwich Hayes.
The Hay Derby.
Hayes.
You going for Hayes?
Yeah.
I'm going for Prestwich Hayes.
Yeah.
I'm going
to Hayes there. There's an Abbey Hay.
Yeah, there is.
I just said the Hayes Derby.
No, one's Hay and one's Hayes.
Yeah, so you're going for Prestwich
I'm
Hayes.
going for Prestwich Hayes, yeah.
You're going for Hayes, you're going for Hayes.
Yeah. Burscough versus Exton Villa. You can't go against it, really, can you?
There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't.
That's you can't bet against your own team, really. No.
I wouldn't anyway.
So, really interesting.
This is a game and a half.
Yeah, Sheridan versus Padiham, because it tells you a story, really, doesn't it, about potential for promotion.
Yeah, and who kind of underlines their credentials more.
I'm going for a draw. I'm sitting on the...
I'm going to go
for a draw 1-0.
I'm saying Padiham on this one.
That'd be good for you as well, wouldn't it?
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you could be topping the charts.
He's just thinking ahead.
I hope so.
Yeah. Charnock Richard versus AFC Liverpool.
I've gone 2-1 Charnock.
Going for Charnock as well.
I think Charnock as well, yeah. Just
Cheadle Town versus Longridge.
I think Longridge.
Draw.
I'm going for Longridge as well. Earlham versus Barnoldswick. I'm going for Earlham.
That's Earlham, yeah.
Ramsbottom United versus Glossop North End.
Sorry, Richard.
Sorry, on this occasion, I'm going to have to go for
Rami.
Me too.
Wythenshawe versus FC St Helens. I'm going for Wythenshawe.
I will also go for Wythenshawe.
What do you reckon?
Me, I've gone Wythenshawe.
Good. First Division North, Steeton versus Nelson. Yeah, it's got to be Nelson, hasn't it? So Tuesday the 21st of October, First Division South, Old Scott Heath versus Wolverhampton Sporting Community.
These sound like racing grounds, don't they? These teams.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
Honestly.
The Giant Stadium.
The Giants, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for Allscott Heath.
Yeah, me too.
Camelard versus Barnton. I'm going for Barnton. Market Drayton versus Hormond. This is an interesting one. I want Market Drayton to win, so I'm going for
I think Market Drayton will win. They've got a Muller Corner section of their stadium.
They have
where it's literally, it's a Muller Corner section. It's sponsored by Muller, but it's actually in the corner of the stadium.
That's a good marketing ploy, that.
Yeah, I'm such a child.
Runcorn Town versus Asheville.
It's going to be Runcorn.
Shawbury United versus Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford.
Foley Mere versus Alsager Town. I'm going for Foley Mere.
I'm going to say a draw because Foley Mere are just weird with their results sometimes.
I've gone Foley Mere.
Yeah. Looking at Liverpool Senior Cup preliminary round, MSB Walton versus Bootle. It's got to be less than tinkering around with the teams.
Well, there's no shame in it, apparently. If Bury can do it, Bootle can do it. I think Bootle will win. But
what's your expert opinion there, Jay?
I think Bootle will win.
Yeah.
Even if they play.
Yeah, second string.
Yeah.
So listen, not that these games, we might have already covered them by the time we get back on the show next week, but in case we don't, we're recording on Thursday. First Division North, Garstang versus Ashton Town. I'm going for Ashton Town.
I've got Ashton Town.
Eccleshall in the Southern Division against Sandbach United. I'm going for Sandbach.
Draw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah,
I'm going to leave this and I want you to check it.
I'm definitely going to check it. I'm going to make it me because you want the bragging rights now. Yeah, you Chairman versus Chairman.
Yeah.
Listen, we'd certainly look at them. Listen, we come to the final part of the show where we discuss what we've learnt over the last week. What have you learnt, AJ?
I've learned that communication is everything in this game, and I probably said this before, so I will be repeating myself a little bit, but having an open door of communication can mean absolutely everything as to whether you build bridges with your community, whether you build bridges within your own club, within your own sort of players, coaches, volunteers, directors, whatever. Just having that open and honest line of communication can do so much for a club, for so much positivity. I think it's essential for how it runs well.
Yeah. What would you say you've learned over the last week in football?
Just put my phone and do not disturb, Frank.
I know, you know what, that's a good answer then.
To be honest, you're in non-league football and football clubs, you just learn something every day. There's always something different. There's always a different problem. There's always I don't know. It's
like you say, you never stop learning. But the minute your phone goes quiet, you're no longer involved in football.
Listen,
and that's the flip side to that.
From 7 o'clock in the morning till I go to sleep at night, my phone is non-stop, whether it be committee, whether it be managers, whether you're at a game. It's life revolves around football when you're. It's
a bit of a game changer for you now because you've taken over the role of chairman at Burscough. Is that going to be a lot more difficult for you now, or your mindset was already there, prepared? To
be honest, it's not really any different. Paul is always, when it comes to decisions, he's made this decision, he's always discussed it, so nothing really changes apart from the obvious things of we've got to get the money in and stuff like that. But as for decisions, people come to like me or Zoe or Wayne anyway, so Paul, as you know yourself, Paul's a very busy man, and he's hard to tie down in one place and to get settled.
But you're finding a way to navigate.
Yeah,
you do. You like you say, learning all the time. So that's not a huge issue. You're going in the right direction. But like you said there, sometimes you've got to switch that phone on. Do not disturb. It's very difficult to do. But having an understanding wife, I don't know how Rowena puts up with me. I know she's very involved with football. My family are very pro Frank Hughes as well as the football club, so they support me. It's always good to have the support of a good lady. be.
I'd be lost without her. Listen, she I don't know how she copes. I really don't. She's amazing. She helps. She'll do everything she can to help us. But she's patient as well. She's very, very patient. Or I don't know if she just wants me out the house, to be honest.
Yeah, but half the time she comes with you anyway.
Yeah, she does. She comes to quite a lot of the games, but like I say, she's
when she gets fed up with you, she doesn't go.
No, she's a businesswoman and she pretends to turn her laptop on and work, but I'm sure she points solitaire. No, she's a businesswoman, so she's very, very busy, and there's certain things where I can't do for work, so I'll just be sat there, Frank, doing her head in, talking to her while she's trying to send an important email. She's built websites and she's non-stop, but it gives me my freedom as well. And without, like you say, without Rowena, we
wouldn't be there, would we?
No.
We wouldn't be in, at the helm of a football club. And I've certainly learned that you do need that support behind you to keep your hand in at a football club. I couldn't imagine if it was under pressure. If it was under pressure to spend more time. Listen, I've got a confession at this point. My confession is that in order to relax, I go to the bingo.
Yeah, I know. I've heard. I listen to
Have I mentioned it?
Every podcast.
Have I? I didn't really
mentioned
know
it last week.
Well, listen, I'm going to mention a big shout out for the St Helens Mecca in St Helens, obviously. That's where I go for my bit of relaxation. So they know when if I don't turn up on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night, they know I'm recording. That's if Rowena goes on her own, so they know. But that's my way of relaxing away from the football. But even then, my office is my phone, so I'm always on my phone. And I've said it before, my autobiography that I've been writing now for a few years has changed from when the phone stops ringing to when the phone stops pinging. I think it's a very good time to be involved in non-league football, isn't it?
I think, yeah, it's a lot different than it was years ago. It's very professional, and do you know when you have your trips to Bury and your trips to Macclesfield and you see the way clubs like that do things, and you're like, you thrive, you envy them, don't you? You just think, I wish that's how we won it. And like I say, when we went to Macclesfield first game of last season, a few seasons ago, it was special, and it was like, wow, this is something
what we all aspire to.
And Frank, that's what done it for me last season with Garswood. I'm stood on the side of the pitch in the last few games, and the manager's smoking a cig, and it's just like effing and blinding at the players, and I thought, what have I done? What have I done? Someone please phone me. Beg me.
It is the biggest problem, isn't it? The standards at in the amateur level.
It's just a lot different. For even so much as inputting a team sheet, sending a registration in, I felt lost. And then when I got the phone call, I was like, what do I do? Because I don't like letting people down, and I didn't want to but when you're not happy, are you? No. You just need to. And non-league football is just, like I say, I can't remember the last time I sat at home and watched a football match on the TV. I can't remember. I really don't know. No. I don't know. I don't even sit in the club and watch a game. I like being, you like standing there speaking to the fans, the parents, the players.
Like you said, it's a good learning curve for you being at Garswood. It's going to be a really hell of a good learning curve for us being at this level, and we don't take it for granted. Our aspirations to get back into the Northwest counties, and I think probably one of our biggest problems is technical areas. We stick to the rules and regulations that we had back in the day. We've noticed every man
free for all, isn't it?
All the kids,
the managers are running up and down the line.
Well, we've even had kids in technical areas during the games, and that's not what we aspire to stay in. And no disrespect to the people that are working extremely hard to keep that league going, and they are, and I admire them for doing it. They've got a battle on a week-to-week basis of keeping discipline. good, and I think they're introducing a fair play award at at that step 7 level, which can only be good for football, because it'll give teams something to aspire to as well, which is good. But listen,
professionalism's massive, isn't it? It's massive. Yeah.
But I probably my point of it all is that probably what I've learned is to be patient and accept things as they are right now, and I'm actually enjoying. I didn't think it'd get to the point, but I'm enjoying going to the likes of FC. Kirby, back to St John Bosco's, going to Nelgo. I'm enjoying all of that. I'm taking it in as it is, because whether it becomes a stark reminder of where we rejuvenated ourselves, it will help us in the long run. So, listen, it's been absolutely great having you on the show, Jay. Really, really appreciate it. It's been really insightful. And it's our first attempt at having a panellist. I think it worked really, really well, but we're probably getting into the 4-hour mode now. So what I will do now is I'll say goodbye to Jay. No, I don't know. I haven't worked it out yet, but it can't be far off, can it? No. But listen, we're probably... We've been speaking for about 5... We've been speaking for about 4.5 hours. We've been speaking for, haven't we? I don't know how long we've been recording for.
Frank, do you want me to wind this up now?
Right. So what I will say to you now is we will leave the final words to the dulcet tones of AJ.
Bracking with that one. You've been listening to the Speaking Frankly Football Show with me, AJ Vergette, my co-host, Mr. Frank Hughes, and special guest panellist, Mr. Jay Hawkes. A gentle reminder that this podcast is available on most streaming services, including Spotify and Amazon Music. Please remember to rate and review, as we do thrive off your feedback. Please also subscribe to us so that you can hear firsthand when a new episode has been released. We're also available on social media sites, including X and Facebook, under the banner term Speaking Frankly. And so from Frank and myself, we will see you next week for another episode of the show. Until then, bye-bye for now.